Coming to you from the JD's Bar and Grill mobile studios, tucked away in the Hideout, the home of the San Antonio Gunslingers, the home offices of San Antonio Gunslingers. Yep. You're listening to the Smokin Gunz Podcast. I'm Philip Higginbotham, joined as always by Leo Yamas.
What's up, Gunslingers Posse?
And RC Woods.
Hello, everyone.
We are a podcast dealing with football, more specifically, football in Texas, even more specifically, football in San Antonio, centered around the San Antonio Gunslingers of the American Arena League, the greatest thing to happen to football in San Antonio, and we haven't even started yet.
Oh, yeah.
You can interact with the show by emailing us at SmokinGunzPod, that's Smokin no G, Guns with a Z, P-O-D, at gmail.com, or on social media. We are at SmokinGunzPod on both Twitter and Facebook. You can also send us voice messages through SpeakPipe by going to www.speakpipe.com/SmokinGunzPod. You can leave us a message. It's got to be 90 seconds long, but you can send us a message and tell us how great the show is and how you love us and how you think we're the greatest podcast hosts ever.
And speak really slow.
We'll take that.
That would take all 90 seconds.
That would take the whole 90 seconds. Or you can ask a questions about the team. If we listen and love it and want to talk about what you're talking about, we're gonna have it on the show. You'll hear your own voice.
Ooh, how exciting.
On the Smokin Gunz Podcast.
Yeah.
So on today's show, we're going to be recapping the tailgate event that happened this weekend out at Alamo Beer. All three of us were there.
Yeah, we had a good time.
All five of us were there, but you don't know who the five is because I haven't even.
We got reinforcements
we
today.
do. We're going to talk about the upcoming season opener against the Bulls here in 2 weeks, and we're going to do it all with our in-studio guests. We have...
Do you need a drum roll?
No, I don't have... We just talked about this. I don't have a drum roll.
You need a tambourine roll.
Yeah,
some shows, some shows will bring in like a player or a quarterback or the starting quarterback. We said that's crazy. Let's bring in the whole quarterback room. We've been talking about this for a while. Yep. And so we actually have both Nate Mace.
Howdy, howdy.
There you go. They got to hear you. Yeah. And David Olvera.
Hey, it was good.
I keep wanting to throw an extra syllable, an extra vowel in there, and Olvera, and it's not it's Olvera, right?
You'll pick it up.
Okay. All right. Well, I should because, we're calling the game, and both of your names are something that I need to probably be able to say now, as we move into the season.
Philip is notorious for messing up names. So
I'm not very good with the names.
Last names.
I'm not very good with the names. And with a name like Higginbotham,
I mean, you should know better.
I mean, I've been putting up with that all of my life, so I feel like other people should too,
Return the favor.
Right.
Ginbot.
Gitbot. No,
back to
Ginbot.
Yeah.
They've always had trouble pronouncing my last name. So.
Really?
Yeah.
We were joking last night with the owners on the team, and I was joking around and said, didn't y'all know I'm going to be the starting quarterback and I'm going to quarterback, and I'm going to do play-by-play at the same time.
Where's the laugh sound? You got.
Yeah, I got that. I think I have. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's
funny. No, I said something along the lines of, while it will be a spectacular failure in the win-loss column, it will be really interesting for those people that like to watch the videos of the guys that jump into the pool that's frozen over and don't realize how thick the ice is. Yeah. Like, there's hundreds of those videos out there, and every time I watch one, I watch it on loop about 20 times. I don't know what it is about those. It's so funny.
Easily entertained, obviously.
But if you like to watch that sort of stuff, watching me play quarterback would be akin to that, because you would just be like, man, this guy's getting killed.
Beautiful.
And throwing interceptions. I didn't know you could throw double-digit interceptions in one quarter, but I could do it. I think I could do it.
I'm confident in you.
And then you said, Leo said...
I said, but the last name has to fit on the back of the jersey.
And that would never happen. We have to use the sleeve,
so,
maybe go in the front.
You said stretch shoulder for shoulder.
Yeah. Left sleeve. Have to go all the way from the sleeve to the sleeve.
Yep. Left sleeve would be Hig, and then Ginbot on the back, and then Ham
just
on
ham.
The right. So everybody would just say...
And you can call him Hig Ham.
And then Leo attacked my athletic prowess by saying that he thought I might trip over the
10-yard line.
The 10-yard line.
The paint
on the 10-yard line.
And break your pelvis.
Where I made it clear to him that is ridiculous.
Right.
I would not even make it out of the locker room. I'd injure myself putting on shoulder pads. Throw on my back. So
I wouldn't even make it, down the stair. That you got to step down onto the field. Like that'd be the end of me right there.
So, guys, you've been through training camp at this point. We've been through practices through this new year, and now we're 2 weeks away. How are you feeling like right now today, about the game that's coming up in just 12 days when we're recording this and 10 days once this goes out?
Wow.
I'm just confident in the team. We really came a long way since we first started, like especially when we first started training camp.
Right.
We went through a couple different playbooks offensively, and
You're good.
yeah, we really kind of picked it up, and we're kind of on our groove right now. So 2 weeks would be right about the time where we come out firing.
What do you think, Nate?
I agree. Yeah, we definitely been through a lot. I didn't get to be here for all the training camp,
Right.
any training camp actually. But just getting to know these guys and getting this bond going, I do see a bright future. I definitely picture us holding the big trophy. I've had dreams about it.
Sure.
So my dreams come true when we make them come true. So
There you go.
we're gonna make it happen.
Awesome.
So let's learn a little bit about you guys because, people want to know, and it's interesting because the quarterback position is not the only position on the field. And I know some people will give me a hard time for saying this, but it is definitely the most important position on the field. You can hide mistakes at a lot of other positions.
Right.
You cannot hide a lot of mistakes at your quarterback
Your
position.
spotlight.
No.
If you don't have somebody in that quarterback position, you're in trouble.
It's the hardest position to play on the field, I
For
think.
sure.
And it may be the hardest position to play in all of sports.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
You have to
Also
know what
the-
everybody's doing at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're also the leader of the team.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The only other person on the football field, just single people on their own doing their job that can look terrible if they don't do their job right is corner, defensive backfield. Because if you get lost
blow
and
coverage, it's over.
It's over, and everybody sees it. Like everybody watches you blow that coverage.
For sure.
And
And the bad thing for those guys is when they do their job well, then nobody knows that they're doing it because nothing's happening.
Right.
And so they don't get they don't necessarily get the glory. But if they do their job poorly, then they get all of the blame.
Right. Well, an O-lineman deal with that a lot. Like you don't notice an O-lineman until he blows a block. Like you don't even know these guys.
Right.
They can make 11 Pro Bowls, and you're like, that guy's still on my team? Like, yes, he is. And he's amazing, and you need to respect him.
Yeah.
We're nothing without our line, man.
No, for sure.
We're nothing without them.
But so much about any football team kind of runs through that quarterback position. Again, it doesn't all end there, but I think it all starts there. I think that's an important position. So fans are going to want to know about both of you guys. So let's start with David for just a second. David, tell me, where are you from? Where did you grow up?
Born and raised here in San Antonio.
Awesome. Where'd you go to school?
I went to school at Medina Valley High School.
Okay.
Over in Castroville.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played football since I was about 5.
Panthers? Yeah.
Yeah, Medina Valley Panthers.
There you go.
Yep. 2014 is when I graduated.
Okay.
But I've been playing since I was 5. Stayed at one school, so graduated from Medina Valley.
Did you play anywhere past high school as far as
college? No,
no college?
I played 3
Semi-pro?
years in semi-pro.
Where at?
Here in San Antonio Warriors.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Excellent. Nate, what about you? Where are you from?
I'm from Tacoma, Washington.
Sweet.
Yeah, far west.
Yeah.
I went to Emerald Ridge and PHS, Puyallup High School, over in Puyallup, and I played a lot of positions. I started playing football when I was like 10. I was doing Taekwondo before then, and then I switched over. I liked the combat, and my dad wanted to get me out of the house, so I started playing football.
Sure.
And I was always like, I've played every position on the field, so this quarterback stuff's been new to me the past couple years.
Okay.
But being in that transition, it's helped me a lot, understanding a defense. I was a defensive player in college. I played 2 years of junior college football over in Tacoma, Washington. And then I played a year of semi-pro, and that's when I started my quarterback. I got my quarterback debut, and I had a pretty good first game. COVID hit, then it was over.
Right.
But luckily, the Lord blessed me with the opportunity to come out here, and here I am.
Awesome.
Being from Tacoma, being from the Great Northwest, I've got to warn you because you're brand new to the San Antonio area. You guys deal with this stuff I hear all the time called rain, where
yeah.
water falls from the sky.
Yeah.
Once we get past about April here into May, that doesn't exist here.
Oh, I've
That
gotten a
doesn't
taste
happen.
of it already. When I showed up, I got a sunburn in December.
Yep.
It blew my
Yep.
mind. It was fantastic. I felt blessed. It was awesome.
I know. It's. I mean, rain is something that you see a lot in the Washington area, Oregon area, up in that area, and we just don't. Like, we get into the summer and we'll go whole calendar months without seeing any measurable rainfall sometimes.
Yeah, Coach keeps telling me, he's like, you West Coast boys, you better be prepared for this. It's
different
gonna
kinda
be
day,
hot.
yeah.
It's gonna be
That's
hot.
true.
Yep.
So, David, tell me a little bit about how you wound up here. How did you wind up with the Gunslingers? What's the story behind that?
Just made a decision to go to another semi-pro team, which Coach Tony was a part of at the time.
Yep.
And then COVID hit, and he ended up giving me the opportunity to come out and try out for the team. So I've been here ever since.
Gotcha. And Nate, what brings you all the way from Tacoma?
I played my semi-pro year. I got my one game, of course, COVID, and I've been trying to make these, trying to just get out of that level. I want to get to that next level of football.
Sure.
Because one day, obviously, we all want to make it to the league. That's the goal of this.
Right.
Right.
We're here for a reason. I'm not risking my body for fun. I am, but for money too. No.
For the dream.
Oh,
it's all
absolutely.
about the
No,
dream.
yeah. Seriously, I've been living. It's like I'm a big kid. I get to do what I love for a living. But my agency, Black Diamond Sports, they told me about the AAL, and she started. My agent Brandy, she's amazing. Shout out to them. They reached out to some teams, sent my film in, and
Okay.
Luckily San Antonio, the Gunslingers were the ones to pull my card, and they were like, "Hey, if you come down here, you move down here, we'll get you a contract, and we'll have some fun."
Sure. And you've only been with the Gunslingers since the new year, right? Like
Yeah,
right at Christmas
January,
time. is when
January
you moved in.
8th, I believe our first practice was.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty fresh to the system, but I'm picking it up fairly fast. Getting to know these guys, we got a pretty good bond going. We're definitely gonna have a lot of fun this year.
And you've got a very vocal support system around you, at
Absolutely.
least on social media, because anytime we post anything
That's a
and your
plethora.
family gets a hold of it, they are all over that.
They take advantage of it. I'm the first one in my family to kind of make it in this field. My family, I'm the first to graduate high school, first to go to college. So this is a big deal to my family back home, and all my friends and stuff. They get to see me live out my dream. So
It's very cool.
yeah, they're loving it for me. So it keeps me driving. It keeps me pushing. It makes me want to be better every day. So I'm loving it.
Well, it's we're gonna have the whole show to talk to you guys about some of the things that we're gonna see, and what you think of certain coaches. We're gonna ask all kinds of questions.
Yep.
But we do need to talk about the event that was Saturday. It was a week late because it was supposed to be the previous Saturday, but there was this freak snowstorm
True.
that kept us from getting together at Alamo Beer on the 21st.
Right.
So instead, we had it this week on the 27th out at Alamo Beer, Saturday, 1 to 5. If you came out, we enjoyed spending time with you, but many of you, I think the schedule just didn't work out for
Yeah,
everybody.
it was a last minute change.
It was a last minute
so-
change. Great little facility. That's the first time I've been to Alamo Beer. I know you guys have been out there. A
Yeah,
couple
we
of
have
times.
been.
Yeah, you've been
But
missing
that's the
out.
first time I've been out there. Nice little place that they've got there, right up under the bridge. Just very, very
Family friendly.
cozy.
Cozy's
Kind of a
a good
cozy
word.
little spot. We sat there for a few hours and talked with Jason and talked with Jonathan, talked with some of the players,
Coach
saw
Tony.
Coach Tony.
Yep.
What did you who did you spent the whole time talking to everybody because
I
you're
did.
RC Woods.
That's right.
And that's what you do.
That's what RC does.
So who all did you talk to? Because I know you're chomping at the bit wanting to tell me
Well,
about
I
everybody.
did talk to David's dad. Was that your uncle also there, or just a buddy of his?
Microphone's over here.
Family friend.
Family friend. Okay, so I kind of hung out with them, And your dad was so sweet. He was like, make sure you mention David's name a lot on the podcast. I'm like, yes, sir, I will.
Yeah, he's a huge supporter. Yeah.
And then for a while, I was talking to Nate and his girlfriend. I forgot her name. I'm sorry.
Gracie,
yeah. And so I'm friendly with them on Facebook, and I kind of, I did the mom to mom with both of their moms.
Right.
So I feel attached to both of them,
Sure.
know. And especially because Nate, you're far away, and you're still young. And so, of course, my mother hen kind of instincts come in, and I'm trying to protect you and stuff. And I'm giving you advice about different places to go to. And
Absolutely.
so we had a good time talking. We also talked to Cody's family. Love his mom.
Yes.
Did a mom to mom with her.
Yep.
So, of course, once they see me, like, hey, so we get so excited. And then there was actually people that weren't even there for the Gunslingers. But I said, hey, do you know why you guys are here? And or these have you noticed the football players? And they're like, actually, we don't. So I went into my whole thing about the Gunslingers, and they were very, very impressed. And so I made them all sign up into the on Facebook with the podcast.
Right.
So now they're all our friends, and so they're going to be following us, and took some pictures with them.
I did get a bunch of notifications like that day.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was probably them, really, because I think I must have signed up or, told people to come, about at least 6 people.
Cool.
And so from there, I was just talking to the coaches, talking to some of the players. I know some of the players didn't want to take pictures. And then I reminded them that I know most of their moms. And they're like, okay, we'll take pictures. So it was good. And then there was one player, I think his name was Bustamante. I think his last name was
Chris.
Yeah.
Chris.
And so he was kind of shy. And I was like, okay, I haven't heard from you. I posted that I'm looking for different moms. And he's like, uh-huh. I was like, come on now. Your mom wants to talk about and brag about you. She's like, okay. So I'm still waiting for Bustamante to contact me. So I went around it's a pretty big place. And so I took pictures with everybody, talked to them, recruited them. And so they're all excited about for the game.
Cool. Leo, you got a chance to, you've sampled the Gunslinger beer before, but we really got a chance to have a couple of those.
Yeah, we got a 6-pack.
And it was the amber. I didn't have any of the light. This was my first shot at it.
Yeah, the amber's my favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
amber is
amber's
solid. It's really, really good.
The light's really good too.
I like both.
I gotta try
nice
it.
and
I mean,
crisp.
I gotta try it.
But the amber is definitely my favorite.
They had some gear there. They had some
did.
San Antonio Gunslingers gear, and I brought my family, which means I brought my wife, which means I walked away with no gear because I'm over at the table, and I was like, well, that's not that much, and my wife said, yes, it is, and so I didn't end up walking away with.
Yeah, I didn't
anything.
walk away with anything because I got there late and they had already sold out of the big head size
Gotcha.
hats. And so I missed out. If I'd gotten there early, I for sure would have got one, but I didn't.
A couple of different hat options. They have the snapback with the trucker cap kind of style, and then they've got the flex fit.
Yeah, well, the snapback I could have got, but I like the flex fit. The flex fit
I
was
like
really
the
nice.
snapback a little better.
I like the snapback too, but Dolores mentioned because
Sure.
I looked at the snapback and I picked it up, and she said I like the other one better, and I was like, okay.
Put it back.
So they had some shirts out there too. First time I'd seen those, and I
new
actually
design.
thought, very nice. Again, I probably would have wound up with one if I hadn't had my conscience there.
Tumblers.
And the tumblers,
Oh, I like those.
Yeah, those were nice.
which again is another one of those things that I already have too many of. I've already got too many of these, Yeti or Yeti knockoff kind of things. So I didn't end up walking away with one of those. And again, I would have if I had not had somebody
tempted.
standing right there next to me saying, no, we don't need that.
I was tempted. The tumblers were nice.
They were red, white, and blue. All 3 colors available
With the logo.
with the Gunslingers logo on it. And the food was
The nachos.
looked great.
Oh, my
yeah.
God.
The bean nachos
And the
were great.
pretzels.
I wanted one of the
my God.
pretzels.
Oh,
the
my
pretzel
God.
is as big as a
Yes.
plate.
Oh, my God.
Just looked great.
I didn't eat anything because I had promised Dolores I was going to take her out.
You were gonna go get some lobster pizza. How'd
Yeah,
that
we
go?
posted it on Facebook.
Did
Or
you?
she did, and she tagged me on
You
it.
guys
so-
ever heard of lobster pizza?
No.
Dude, okay. I'm going to plug them. They're not a sponsor or
ahead.
anything, but there's a place out in Bernie. So it's kind of, it's not too much farther than the Rose Palace out that way.
All right.
Called Z's Wood Fired Pizza. It's a little family-owned joint. Incredible pizza. Their pizza is really good. And it's wood-fired. They have these big brick ovens that they wood-fire their pizzas in. They have a different special every month, and the one for February was called the Sebastian, which is lobster. They put lobster on top of a pizza. It's white cheese, chives, like butter.
But
It was delicious.
Sebastian is a crab.
I know, yeah. We brought that up to the
That's not right.
we brought that up to the server like a couple years back. The first time we went for it, and we're like, hey, but Sebastian's a crab, right? He's like, shh, don't tell nobody.
So instead, we just told all of San Antonio.
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
it. Secret's out.
But my
Doesn't
favorite,
matter what they call it, though. It was good, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. The pizza is really good. Even just the regular ones they have on their menu. There's one called the Da Vinci, which has like sausage, artichokes, mushrooms. If you like that kind of thing, it's really good, man. We add pepperoni to it. But my favorite pizza that they make is one of the monthly specials. Every time they have it for the month, I go at least 4 times. That means once a week.
Wow. It must be good.
I work out in Bernie, so it's
okay.
easier for me to do that because I'm out there, But it's called the Miyagi after Mr. Miyagi, and if you like crab rangoons, then you will love this pizza because that's what it is. It's crab meat with like crispy noodles scattered on top of it with the white cream cheese and chives, and they even put that little like drizzle, that sweet and sour drizzle that they put on the crab rangoons like to dip them in, and they put it on and they bake it into the pizza, and it is phenomenal. That is my favorite pizza, bar none, like of anywhere. Any
Of
pizza
all
I've had,
pizza,
of all,
any ever.
Wow.
King
I'm
of
a
pizzas.
I'm a pizza freak, so you got me salivating over here.
There you go.
Z's wood fired pizza,
These
man.
wood fire.
Well, speaking of pizza, I want to know what you guys like on your pizzas.
Oh, I'm not. Nobody's gonna like me anymore. But pineapple's allowed on my pizza.
That's fine.
That's
No,
okay.
that's good. I'm down with
I
it.
like
okay with
pineapple.
that.
I gotta have pineapple. Canadian bacon and pineapple, pepperoni jalapeno pineapple. It's gotta have some sort of fruit.
Oh.
I got you.
Sweetness.
I'm okay with that. What about you, Dave?
I just regular, pepperoni.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that either.
And I mean, I like everything, but
Sure.
that's what I go with.
Cool.
And then that was Saturday, and then Sunday.
Yeah.
It was a full week. It was a full
was
weekend
busy.
of Gunslingers stuff for you,
was,
RC, because
yeah.
you were there all day Saturday. And then Sunday, you got up early,
I did get up.
headed
early.
into town,
I did.
and you got to be not just on a radio show. You got to be the guest host
That's right.
of the Sports Dime on
9:30 a.m.
9:30 a.m.
But it was at 10 o'clock in the morning, so that kind of threw people. Like, are you at 9:30 or are you at 10 o'clock?
But the radio station is 9:30.
but a.m. and then.
But
what just got
then you were
confused.
on at 10 o'clock. 10
Yeah.
to 11, Sports Time with Rudy Campos.
Rudy Campos.
Caroline Antigue was out, and
She was
so
on vacation.
you were in for her. You got to talk Gunslingers. What? You're an old hat at this, though. You sit behind a microphone once every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for a couple of years.
Yep.
So it was just like our show, right? Same thing.
No, it was very different.
What was different?
The time. And so that was the fastest 1 hour that I've ever
Right.
had, ever. I mean, it was just like boom, 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 And very exciting. I love Rudy. I'm grateful for the opportunity. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed just talking. It was a little bit different for me because usually I just talk football.
Right.
So I had to kind of like, oh my God, they're talking about all different kinds of sports.
Oh, yeah. No, he was
I-
talking
yeah.
Spurs with you.
I
He
didn't
talked
really
a little
brush up on
March
Spurs,
Madness
March
with you.
Madness, and then I kind of piggybacked what we talked last time about the movies, the football movies.
Right.
And so we talked about that, and then we had Coach call in. And
Yeah,
so
I
that
heard
was
that.
that was kind of funny.
I mean, I heard part of that. I was watching on the Facebook Live. I haven't actually
Oh, okay.
the Facebook Live.
The
I'm
Facebook-
80.
The Book of Face.
Yeah. I'm watching Facebook Live, and so there were parts of it that were cutting out where we couldn't hear in the studio.
Yeah.
You could hear on your headphones
Oh.
what Coach was saying, but the microphone there on his phone was not picking up in studio. So
Oh, okay.
we had a little bit of a hard time hearing a lot of what Coach said.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah.
so he called in. I guess he missed where we talked about the sports movie.
Oh, yeah, because
And-
he said casino.
The casino, and I was like, okay. And so we had to figure out how that was tied to sports. And then he was talking about how if it was really a sports show or was it a drinking show. So apparently I talked about drinking a lot.
You did.
Did I really?
You did.
You
Okay.
did.
Oh, okay. And then we talked about how we sponsored for the cheerleader,
Yeah.
Sierra. And so then Coach also said that he wanted to try out too, but it was that 2-piece that
Right.
made him decide not to do it.
He's going to be kind of busy on game days
I
anyway.
know, I told him, but so we had a good time talking about that. So it was fun.
That's cool. So, sports movies. Speaking of sports movies, what about you guys? Your favorite football movie?
I got a lot of them. Varsity Blues, Remember the Titans.
Sure.
Gridiron Gang. I mean, I love all the movies. I really do.
Right.
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night
for
Lights.
sure.
Sure. Football is a religion. We kind of talked about that on the last
Yeah,
show.
we did on the last show.
Both
Yeah.
Varsity Blues and Friday Night Lights. I think there are
Those were
people in
mine.
other parts of the country that are like, well, nobody loves football that much.
Yeah, so that's what I said in the last show. Like, Friday Night Lights is kind of special to me because I really like that movie, and I've talked to people from different parts of the country, and they're like, "Oh man, that was like so fake." Like, there's, high school football isn't there. It's not like that. And I'm like, dude, you
Absolutely
come
not.
to Texas, and you will see how big high school football can get. That was totally real, and they just like couldn't believe it.
Yeah, my high school, they made us do the Murph Challenge. He's like I believe he's a Navy SEAL, or he was a, I guess I don't know, but
okay.
it was this insane workout. We had to carry someone 100 yards. We had to run a mile, do like 100 push-ups, run another lap, or run a mile, reverse it, crab walk 100. It was ridiculous. It was 100 push-ups. It was called like the Murph Challenge, I believe.
Okay.
wow.
You'd have to look into it, but it was traumatizing. It was traumatizing. I'll never forget that.
Well, and I live out in Lavernia, and like towns shutting down for football games absolutely happens.
Oh, yeah.
Like, businesses shut down because there's football tonight in town, and the whole town is there within that stadium. There's nobody driving. If you want to go to, if you're ever driving through on a Friday night in the fall in Lavernia and you want to go to Whataburger when there's no line, go when there's a football game.
Yeah.
The town's
Because they're
empty.
still
No
open
way.
because it's like Whataburger. It's not a local
Yeah.
business, but there ain't nobody there. However, if you're a little later than that and you try to go as soon as the game gets out,
Yeah, there's a huge line.
the line is around the building.
I know my husband was a military brat, so he's been all over, and he played football.
Sure.
And so when he actually got stationed here in San Antonio, he's like, "What's up with all these stadiums? Like, who plays in all
Everywhere.
these
Oh,
stadiums?"
it blew my
like,
mind
he
when
could
I showed
not
up here.
believe it was for high school. I mean, could not believe it. And he's literally been all over the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Texas high school football is
Huge.
crazy. It's ridiculous.
Back on the sports movies, I
Yeah.
just want to say something real quick, like what RC was saying. So Coach Tony called in and said Casino was his
Casino,
favorite sports movie. I don't think. Okay, all right. We all know Tony. If you're listening, which I know
And
you
he
listen,
is.
turn the volume down for like 10 seconds here. Just do me that favor. Turn the volume down and then come back. We all know Casino is not a sports movie.
It's not a sports movie, but
But
I'm not going
nobody's
to tell the
gonna
coach.
argue.
that.
Are you
I'm not
guys
going to
gonna
argue with
argue
the coach.
with
We
Coach
did
Tony?
not solicit that call.
Okay.
Both players are shaking their heads like we don't want anything to do.
You guys have been to
With
practice.
that.
You've seen the running.
Nobody's gonna argue. All right, Coach is back. Yeah, great movie, Casino. Great sports
Casino,
movie,
Love
Coach.
just excellent, excellent
movie.
But there
movie.
was some betting. So betting has to do with sports. So we kind of tied.
Well, but
It's a stretch,
no.
but hey.
No, it's no.
No, okay.
not
I
gonna work.
tried. I tried, Coach.
Y'all were talking about Any Given Sunday. I was like, that's a great movie. I love that movie.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie.
It just it's on the edge of surreal, like the eyeball thing, and there are certain parts of it where you're just like, okay, come on now. I know that's technically
They gotta-
possible.
They gotta drag it out somehow, They gotta.
Yeah, but man. Anyway, we're going to take a break real quick. When we come back, we're going to talk a little more about what we're going to see here in a couple of weeks when we pack the palace. Hashtag pack the pack.
Hashtag pack the palace.
We're going to talk some more about that, and then we're going to learn some more about both David and Nate. Stick with us right here, Smokin Gunz Podcast. We'll be right back. Well, we are excited to have JD's Bar and Grill as the studio sponsor for the Smokin Gunz Podcast. No matter where we go all season long, whether it's here at the Hideout, whether it is on the wild, wild western side of San Antonio,
The Corral.
the Corral there at the Palace, when we pack the Palace.
Pack the palace.
no matter where we go, and we will also go to JD's Bar and Grill.
That's right. Can't
But
wait.
no matter where we go, JD's Bar and Grill is part of our mobile studio. They are the ones bringing you all of this great coverage all over San Antonio as we bounce around. The reason that we can do that is because JD's Bar and Grill is part of our team. They are over on 2000 Southeast Loop 410, Suite 101.
101.
Right there at the, it's not the Rittiman exit, is it? Yeah, it is the Rittiman.
Is it Rigsby?
No, Rigsby.
Rigsby, you're right. Rigsby exit of 410, right there next to Walmart. There's a Dollar Tree next to them. Nice big place. I drive by it in fact, I drove by the other day and I pointed it out to my kids. I'm like, hey, that's our sponsor right there.
That's right.
JD's Bar and Grill. Go. They got great food. They've got drink specials. They have live music on the weekends.
They have pool, darts, a good place to hang out.
Yeah, just
Awesome.
Just a ton of stuff going on there. Go check them out. Go get a drink. Go wear your Gunslingers gear in there so that they know you heard about it here.
If you can't make the game for whatever reason, maybe they'll be showing it there.
Yeah,
maybe
we need to work
watch
that out
Gunslingers.
with them. And later in the season, as we move through the season, we're going to have some events out there. As the Smokin Gunz Podcast will invite you guys out to hear a live taping of the show and bring a couple of you guys on. We did that back in the day with the command post.
That's right.
We'd love to do that again as we go into the season here with the Gunslingers. JD's Bar and Grill. Go check them out. They are on Facebook at JD's Bar and Grill, I think is their... just search them, JD's Bar and Grill. It'll pop up. There's a great little frozen margarita is their icon, is their avatar. So go check them out, JD's Bar and Grill. Another one of our sponsors that we're really excited about, we've always been really excited about, Teardrop Pepper Company.
We love them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just great. They are a sponsor of the show. They are a sponsor of the Gunslingers. We were just talking before we hit the record button here that we should have they should come out to tailgate with us and bring some Golden Habanero and Supreme Serrano
I'll buy some bottles right
so
now.
that everybody is there.
That's
So
right.
Chris, if you're listening,
Chris and Sarah, come on out with the baby.
let's get out there to the Rose Palace on the 13th and bring some bottles. You won't have any trouble selling them there
with some
at
barbecue.
the. Oh man!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, barbecue. It's good
Hamburgers.
on pizza. I bet it's good in eggs. I need to do that. Some scrambled eggs with some little golden habanero in there.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
bet that'd be great. Teardrop Pepper Company is up in Austin. You cannot find their products in HEB. You need to go to teardroppepperco.com and order. Use the offer code ARENA, ARENA,
That's right.
and you will save 10%. Order now so that you're ready for the 13th. If you order
It's
now,
only like, 2 weeks away? Less than that.
yeah, it's 10 days from
10
now when they're
days.
hearing this. If
They
you
should-
order
they
right
should
now,
quick,
it will
though.
get you.
Yeah.
It will get to you in time, but
It
you
should,
can't
yeah.
wait very long.
No.
You need to be ordering now. Go to teardroppepperco.com. Order your products. Follow them on all the social medias at Teardrop Pepper Co. Smokin Gunz Podcast, Philip Higginbotham, R.C. Woods, Leo Yamas, and we're sitting around the table with the entire quarterback room of the San Antonio
Yay.
Gunslingers. We have David Olvera
Hey,
and Nate Mace hanging out with
sir.
us. We're talking about Gunslingers. We got a game in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks.
yep, North Texas Bulls.
The North Texas Bulls.
The enemy.
In fact, I got a message. I told you guys about this before we started recording, but I got a message today from the ownership of the North Texas Bulls, and I wasn't sure how to respond immediately because it was just, hey, love this show, love the way you guys talk about us. And I was like, is he serious or is he
trying
is
to
this a
scare us?
flex? Like, is he trying to like put pressure on me? Because I will fold immediately. And no, but had a conversation with them. Told him that while we wish them nothing but success in 7 of their games this year, or 6 of their games this year, there's 2 that, sorry, 3. Oh, well,
Three.
you're right.
There's
3.
three.
We do play the Bulls 3 times. We open the season, we close the season, and then there's another one
Right in the middle.
here. Yeah, right in the middle here.
Listen, maybe we should get one of them to interview them.
We
You know,
do.
we can ask them.
Well, we've had one of the ownership group
Yeah,
on, but not when it
Tyrone,
was the Bulls. He was doing the
Falcons.
North Texas Falcons.
Right.
at the time and came on the show.
I want to interview them before the season. Ask, how does it feel going into the season knowing right off the bat you're gonna have 3 losses?
Right. Knowing that you're
That's
playing
true.
for second.
We keep
Like-
that mentality.
We may have to put that together for next week because we are weekly now.
We are weekly.
That's true.
We may reach out to Tyrone or one of their ownership groups, see if we can get them to call in and just tell us why even drive all the way down to Senate. Like, what's the point? What's the point? Like, why would you do that?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Right. So we talked some about this last week, but it bears repeating that the Gunslingers have been practicing and been working together since October. Whereas the North Texas Bulls have just finished up their
Tryouts.
their
Yeah,
final
let's start
set of
minicamp.
tryouts and their mini camp.
Talk about a little late to the game.
You guys are there. You're playing. You're on the field. What is the difference of having 2, 3, 4 weeks with a set of guys or having the amount of time that you've had together and working together? Does it make that big a difference?
Oh, it makes a huge difference. The amount of time that you can get together with all the guys and really work on everybody's objective, like every single play. You know, everybody's going to be fluent in what they got to do come game day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely. I agree. It's gonna have a lot to do with it. You know, we've built these relationships. We're not just like brothers on the field. We're brothers off the field now. You know, we've created that bond, and personally, that stuff goes way deeper than just being a good athlete. You know, look at the pros. Look at the NFL. You know, you got these guys who are all the best of the best.
Right.
But you stick a star receiver with a bad quarterback. You know, he's not gonna look good.
Right.
They got to have that connection. That's why something like Tom Brady, man. Every team he plays on, those guys, those are his boys, you know. That's why he's so successful. He creates that bond.
Well, that and he cheats, right, David?
Yeah.
Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
No, but back
No,
on,
only for Tom. Only.
Yeah, back on point, you know, it's going to have a lot to do with it. Play installation. We're going to have trifold the amount of plays when it comes down to it, you know, and knowing where that ball's going to be, you know, how our receivers like to run their routes. Are they like, you know, they not too much detail. I don't want to give a lot away, but we're well prepared. You know, we're ready for this.
It's just a time together to build chemistry. You know how they're gonna move, how they're gonna react.
Yeah. Well, all of that timing, all of that kind of stuff. I'm a big believer that one of the things that has upset Deshaun Watson the most, and he didn't realize it at the time it happened, but after a season of not having Hopkins with him, he's like, man, I really missed that guy because I played for 2 seasons with that. I know that guy, and he's one of the best in the business.
Right.
Now I have to learn new guys, and these guys aren't as good. It's not that they're bad, but they're not, you know.
It's not D-Hop.
Yeah,
That's one of
they're
the
not.
That's one of the worst trades of NFL history, right there.
It for sure was rough.
You get rid of the best receiver in the NFL next to Larry Fitzgerald and give him to Larry Fitzgerald.
But Nate, they got a broken down running back.
They got a 34-year-old running back.
They got something back for him. So you think that's going to be a difference maker? You think that makes a huge difference?
100%. Yeah.
Now, we talked about last week. Go ahead, Nate.
I'm going to be cocky here. We got the best athletes in the league.
Okay.
Nice. I like it.
Our defense, our offense, our core group of guys, man, it goes all the way down the depth chart. We don't have a weak link on this team. You know, we're coming with a crazy amount of force. We're going to be unstoppable this year.
And I've watched you guys in practice, and I believe that that's true. The one thing we said last week, and I'll reiterate this time around, is that doesn't alleviate any pressure on you guys, on the Gunslingers. If anything, it kind of ramps the pressure up.
Absolutely.
We've been together longer. We've got what we feel like are the better athletes. We feel like we should be the better team on the 13th. If things start going the wrong direction, because you've both played the game, you've both been in those games where things just start breaking the wrong direction, and it seems like they pile up on top of each other really quickly. Is there going to be a little bit of tightness that starts to set in of, we can't lose to this team. We're better and we're more prepared. We can't do this.
I think the mentality is not to lose any game, but
Now you know.
I think that pressure that you're talking about, as a team, I don't think we're gonna have that.
You're good.
But as a fan, probably are they going to win first game? Are they going to lose first game?
Right.
How are they going to come out solid, fast, whatever? But I think we're going to be good.
Speaking of
honestly.
sports movies, one that I used to laugh at a lot, and I just mentioned last week is one of my favorite, is The Replacements.
Oh,
There's a
fantastic.
moment where Keanu Reeves starts talking about quicksand. And the more you fight and the more you try, the tighter things get. And the tighter you get, the more you sink and the faster you sink. You ever been in those situations where you're just in a quicksand kind of game?
Yeah, 100%. I've went into games where the team has felt like we're going to go out there and be firing on all cylinders, but then either penalties or unfortunate plays happen where it really sets us back.
Sure.
And you got to fight through that, and you got to get the momentum in your favor.
Sure.
Well, I know, like, I feel like we, as the podcast, we have advantage over the fans because we've seen the team gel together. We've seen them at their practice. We've actually met them in person. And so I really want all the fans who are listening to know that we have a solid team here. You know, we have amazing coaches, amazing players. And, you know, I know some people maybe not, well, I don't know about going to the first game. Come to the first game. See for yourself. You know, this is going to be an amazing game.
Yeah, it is. And I fully expect that at the day the Gunslingers will win because we do. We have more time. We're more prepared. We have an incredible group of athletes. I know nothing about what they have. I can't say we have better athletes because I don't know, but I know we have an incredible group of athletes.
Absolutely.
And we have some great coaches, and so I want to take things there for a second. Now, you played for Coach Tony before this experience, before the Gunslingers.
Yeah, I was with them for 4 weeks.
Okay.
2 games.
And then, Nate, you're brand new to Tony. What do you guys think of Coach Tony?
He's a character. I mean, he's got a
Yeah.
lot of energy. Very
A
lively.
lot of energy.
A lot of energy.
You know, Coach Tony's my type of coach, man. That guy will tell you if you're messing up. He'll tell you if you're balling out. He'll still tell you there's more to fix because you know
Right.
with Tony he lives to that same mentality he expects his players to live to. You know, be better and better every day. You are never your greatest version of you until you're in heaven with the Lord. You know,
Right.
That's when you finally get to sit down and relax and be great. While we're living here on earth, we got to wake up every day with emotion, you know, with the drive to be better, you know, and he does not let us slack on that.
He really does like to push the buttons.
Yes, he does.
Oh, he does.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to see you. He wants to see you do something. He
In
wants to
fact,
push the
and
buttons.
it's nothing that you're going to upset him. I feel like I know enough about Coach to know he's not going to get mad about anything you say to this question. Are there times that he's really just ticked you off? Like you're has he upset you yet?
If he did, I probably deserved it.
That's yeah.
What a politic answer. That's very good.
Good answer.
I think Coach Tony would be upset if either one of these guys said the answer was no.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, if he hadn't gotten it, Coach Tony is one of those guys, and again, he's not going to be upset at me for saying this, and if he is, this is Leo, and Coach Tony strikes me as one of those guys who purposely, like you said, finds buttons, push buttons. He wants to get under your skin a little bit.
Oh yeah, he wants to see how you react to adversity.
Yeah.
He wants
Yeah.
to know that when I throw you on that field and we're down 14-0 in the first quarter, are you gonna go cry in the corner and quit, or are you gonna step back and stomp on their throat and go down the field?
Right.
You know?
And from that first,
Meeting?
from the first combine that we had,
Oh, okay.
where players came in, you were at that one, weren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
was
very
at-
Your
first
hair
one.
was longer though.
It was a
It
tad.
was a lot longer.
It was a little bit longer.
He wasn't pulling any punches. He wasn't. He wasn't gonna be the nice guy. He wasn't gonna beg you to be on his team. He wasn't gonna do any of that. Like he was gonna be him. And if that was a problem,
Get
it's
off my
time to
field.
go. Yeah.
I watched that YouTube video of some of his speeches. I was like, yep, that's on my way here, you know, I was trying to find out what the Gunslingers were about from
Sure.
what I could know. You know, I came here on a leap of faith, you know, I didn't know much. We're a new team. And I seen that video, I was like, I love this guy.
Very
That's-
animated.
That's my type of guy
Very
right there. You
passionate.
know, he's a killer. He's a killer, and I like to think I'm a killer when it comes to playing football. That's what I want to do. You know, I want to kill.
So moving through the coaching staff, that's Coach Tony. Let's talk a little bit about your offensive coordinator, who we have a relationship with. He's been on the show this time around, and he was on the show back in our previous iteration when we did Commanders. Wasn't he on the show, or did we cancel?
No, we've been through this. We
that's
last
right.
minute canceled.
Well, we did interviews with him. I know that.
But your offensive coordinator, Cheeto Gonzalez. That's right?
Yes.
Yeah, Cheeto.
Or Herbert.
Herbert.
Yeah.
Cheeto. What do you think of a defensive guy, of a defensive lineman moving over and coaching and developing the offense?
I think he's been doing a great job. He's a defensive mind. He's coming to the offensive side of the ball, and he's really taken with it. You know, he's always in touch with me, with Nate, about things that we might want to add to the playbooks, things like that. He's keeping us in the loop. So.
He's very open to looking at us as professional athletes. You know, and I'm biased because I was a defensive athlete. So I like to think, being a defensive guy coming to the offensive side, we know a lot more than the offensive guys know.
I agree.
We picked it up way faster because I know what that D line is going to do, or I know what that linebacker is going to do, what kind of blitz I'm going to pick up on his blitz, or here and there, and he does a really good job at letting us be the generals. You know, he gives us permission to do what we need to do. Yeah, if we mess up, it's our head, but But he definitely lets us have the chance to be pro, you know.
Is he able to, being a defensive guy that's now leading the offense and kind of developing the offense for you, is he able to, Nate, you've played that side of the ball. David, you've been a quarterback most of your career, all of your career.
All of my career, yes.
Is he able to show you some things or get you to see things from maybe a different perspective? This is what this D lineman is going to think or see or do, and how he's planning on reacting, because he's been there. He's been on that side of the ball.
Yeah, coming from his arena background, he has so much more knowledge than I do. This is obviously my first time being a part of an arena team, and he has those defensive concepts down, so he geared his offense to kind of combat that.
What do you think is the biggest change from traditional 11-man
timing
to 8?
Timing.
What do you mean?
Speed of the ball, in and out of your hand, decision making.
Yeah.
The two biggest things.
You're not going to have 6, 7, 8 seconds in the pocket. That just doesn't exist.
You're not going to have a clean pocket to throw out of.
No.
You got 2.5 seconds of clean pocket at most.
Right.
And that's if our line's performing at their top level, which they are.
Right.
You know, we get 2.5 seconds, that ball's got to go, or we got to go.
Gotcha. Let's talk about that. Those are your coaches. I mean, I realize there are other coaches on the team, but it would be weird to ask you what you think of the defensive coordinator because you just don't deal with him.
We love James.
So this is James we're talking about.
But it's James. I mean, we all.
Hey, we do got to give a huge shout out to James though, because seriously, he has stepped it up for us. You know, he's taking care of us too. We got our. You know, we were having some troubles with our playbook stuff for a lot of the guys, and he simplified it for us. You know, he helped with even though I'm sure he went and studied all our plays, you know, so he could take advantage of us at practice. No, I'm just kidding, but he definitely has helped us a lot. Even being the defensive coordinator, he has a lot of knowledge on the game. You know, he's been at the Division I level as a coach. You know, so he knows this stuff, and. Yeah, he's definitely just recently, you know, he's really been stepping up for us and helping our offense out a lot, actually.
So on the offensive side of the ball with you, what are the we'll talk about the line in a second, but tell me about the weapons that you have and the ones you're excited about hooking up with on a game day. Like, what have you got?
Where can I start? We got so many. All of our receivers, Kali Rashad, Isaiah, White, Cameron Johnson, Sean Mueller. We got Mike. We got so many. We got Joey Fisher. So many names, so many touchdowns to.
You know, I'm biased because he's my boy, but Chris, man, I'm telling you, that boy
Bustamante.
Yeah,
Boost.
Don't
appropriately named Boost.
Seriously, he's gonna laugh when he hears me bragging about him, and don't tell him I did this, but now he's gonna know.
He might hear it. I don't know.
But that boy, don't blink. He's gone. You give him a hole, he'll make you miss too. That I'm excited to see him play. Personally, that's my guy. I train with him almost every day. We really get down to it, and he's going to be a huge asset to this team.
I don't even think he goes to sleep at his house. I think he sleeps at the field.
He really does.
Really?
So
he's always at the field.
For those that don't know, Chris Bustamante, this is a guy we've talked about.
Yeah, we've talked about
We've
him
not
here.
had him on the show, but we've talked about because of how explosive he is, how animated he is at practice.
And let's be really honest,
He's 5'4".
how small he is. Like, he's a
5'4",
little guy.
diminutive, 145, 150 pounds, something like that.
But he doesn't play the game that
Oh
way.
no,
No.
he'll run you over.
He
You
will.
don't got a problem doing it.
He understands leverage, getting low. We saw it in a play in last practice
Yep.
where he trucked
No.
somebody, got low, and
Yep.
and that got some oohs and ahs, and it was a great play. Boost I think is a
Yeah,
great
he's a special
name
skill
for
set.
it.
Oh, CB3, man. Watch
And-
out for him.
And there's something to be said for the little guy behind the big guys,
Yep.
where the defense is guessing where he's at and where he's coming from.
Beautiful.
And by the time he breaks that edge, if they didn't guess right, he's gone. You're not getting your hands on him.
The very first time that I watched Chris practice,
Yeah.
he broke a couple of really solid runs. And Cody Brooks, who's a guy that I really respect his athleticism and his ability to do his job as a linebacker, said, "That's not fair. I can't even see where he's at. I can't even
can
see
see
where
that
he's
on
coming from."
It'd be one thing if he was short and slow, but he's short and fast. You
Yeah.
know, you can't. You go look this way. He's already across the field.
The other thing that really impressed me that day, it was the same day, is him going out on just a kind of a cut out or coming back to the ball a little bit on a hook right by the sideline.
Yeah.
And he caught the pass, and one of the linebackers, I don't even remember who it was, but it doesn't really matter with our linebacking core, was behind him and was able to just lay out and hit him.
Oh yeah.
And the dust clears, and Chris is still standing up, and the linebacker's
Yep.
on the ground.
You got to wrap that.
He didn't
guy
even
up.
see
You
it
gotta-
coming.
You got to wrap that guy up.
And-
Another guy though too, man, Sean Mueller. I mean, I've got to connect with Sean a lot on some touchdowns.
Sure.
And the dude's fast. That dude
Yeah.
will take off. You give him one step on you, he's gone.
Okay.
He's definitely someone to look out for too, man. I'm for real.
He's got jets for sure.
Yeah.
If any of our wide receivers get the ball in their hands, you can pretty much guarantee.
Yeah,
it
we
might
got a
go in the
lot of
touchdown.
fast
Scoring.
guys. We got a lot of fast guys.
So
man.
one guy I'm excited to see that recently came into practice. I know he was dealing with some injuries and he just recently got healthy. And I think he was nursing something the last practice, so he was out. But when I did see him, I was like, whoa. I can't wait to see this guy in the pads. But big, fast, and like good hands. Joey Fisher.
Joey.
Oh
Yes,
my
sir.
God! When I saw him do what he can do at practice, I was like, yeah, I can't wait to see this guy
Yeah,
in
he's
pads
the
out
truth,
there.
man. He's the truth.
I actually, when I was playing for the San Antonio Warriors, I was with Joey, and I really brought him, and he really is working out for us. You know, we got to keep him away from the injury bug, but as soon as he touches the field, that man's a monster. That man is an absolute monster on the field.
As far as your weapons are concerned, what about a guy that started out in a red jersey? Now he's moved over. What about Armand?
Armand, he's got the strongest hands.
Yeah.
I will tell you right now, that guy will catch something. If there's traffic, he's got more probability to catch the ball with three guys on him than he does wide open. Okay. The dude blows my mind. We were practicing last week on Saturday or 2 weeks ago, not this last week and the weekend before. But you know, I threw him like a clean fade, and he dropped one, and then the defense got around him. I watched him do it like 4 times in a row. We ran a dig route or something, and he got it. Had 2 guys wrapped around him, and he was just hanging on to it like it was nothing. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, how can you do that? He'll tell you, man. I was on his head about it. It was fun though. It's crazy to see how much of an athlete he is, you know.
So most of the time you're looking for the open receiver. When it comes to number one, you're going to be looking for when he's covered.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for real.
That's when it's
Seriously,
going to be a spectacular catch.
Right.
he can make them too. He really can.
That's the guy that when the pressure's on, you got like a big defensive lineman in your face, and you know the route that he's running, and he was covered. You're just still going to toss it up there because chances are he's going to get that ball.
It's not a
Bring it down.
50-50 at that point. It's like a 75-25 for Armand.
I remember one time in practice where I think it was you, David, that threw him a beautiful over the shoulder pass that he caught and he made a great catch, and Coach Tony pulled him aside and yelled at him after he made the catch and said, "Don't you ever think that you're a quarterback ever again. you got two good hands. He's like, your hands are so pretty. He's like, I don't know what you were thinking. He just went off on him for like 3 or 4 minutes, just yelling at him on how dumb he was for ever thinking he was a quarterback instead of just being a receiver, the receiver that he is. That was hilarious.
So coaches are important. Your weapons are important, the guys that you're going to be getting the ball to. But
Most
your
importantly,
favorite people on the offensive side of the ball are the
big
guys
boys
that
up
keep you
front.
clean. The 3 big boys that are standing in front of you. How do you feel about your offensive line? And you're getting a defense coming after you that's not pulling any punches when it comes to practice. And we'll talk about the defensive side of the ball in a minute. But tell me about your offensive line a little bit.
Offensively, we got a bunch of dogs up front. Most of the time, I'm back there and I feel like I'm just relaxing, chilling, so I can throw the ball real easy. There's not a whole lot of pressure. You
Okay.
know, when we have our 3 dogs healthy, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. You know, they really like you said, that defense isn't pulling back on them either. They're the one guys I will say are full go, 100%. And I talk to them all the time. I'm like, well, I'm nothing without you, so please be here. You know, I need you. And I think, like David said, we have 3 healthy guys up there, and they remain healthy. We're gonna have that 6-7 seconds you were talking about. You know,
That'd be great.
I'm seriously. We've done it. We've had it. You know, it's showed up. But yeah, like I keep saying, we're nothing without those guys. So those are my boys. You know.
And those guys are protecting you, at least in practice, from some guys that are coming after you. So let's swing around to the other side of the ball real quick and tell me about the guys that are coming after you, the guys that are trying to get into the pocket with you. Who are you seeing way too much of in practice?
Who you guys having nightmares about?
Jonathan likes to swat.
Uh-huh.
High balls, so he has really good sight.
And he's huge, dang
He's
it.
huge.
We're 5'11", 6 foot. We don't get that. We don't do that over here.
Yeah, and along the other side, we got Ben Kane, high motor. That dude's a beast, too.
I've never heard him say more than 3 words at one time.
He don't need to.
That's okay.
I really appreciate it. I watch him in practice. He does his job. He's incredibly good at what he does. He just doesn't talk. He doesn't say much.
Nope, he just goes there, does his business, and gets out.
Love it.
Another guy though is Brian Carrasco.
Yes.
Ever since when I first started here, from his game from then to now, I mean it's only been a month and a half. You know, from his game from then to now is insane. You know, when they blitz 4, he's free. You know, he's got to get through our line. Our line has to pick 3. You know, you can't pick 4. 3 on 4 isn't fair. But he'll end up in your face if you don't make a move. He's gonna get you. He's got sticky fingers. He'll hang on for dear life. Pierre's a baller. Cody's a baller, man. Our linebacker crew is really disgusting, dude.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
I'm scared for some of these quarterbacks. You know, I don't want to go play somewhere else because of that. Seriously, no, I'm dead serious. These guys are big bodied, ill-mannered people. They are here to rip your neck off.
Right. Yeah,
They're killers.
Fast and hard hitting. They move well to the ball. They swarm. They talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They communicate well.
That defense is going to be. You're right. It's going to be a nightmare for everybody else in that Texas division.
Yeah, and in the defensive backfield, who is just the bane of your existence? Who do you throw the ball up and it winds up in their hands way too often? Not because of anything you did wrong. Just they're those guys.
Hey, the guy who I kind of have competition with when we go out on the field and we have practice, Darius Banks.
Okay.
You know, I'm always looking
Darius.
at him, seeing what he's doing, trying to keep an extra eye on him. You know, trying to get one over on him.
Yeah, and we just got a new corner out there. He works with me and Chris all the time, but Jaleel, man, that's someone to watch out for. He's originally a receiver. He's played receiver, from my understanding. That's his position. But coach asked him to make the transition last week. I don't know why I'm bragging about this, but he came up with 2 picks on it. He got me once and he got David once. You know,
I saw that. I was there.
Yeah, we don't
I was
like him
who
right
is
now.
this guy?
No.
Who is this guy?
But seriously, he's someone to look out for too. He's a true baller. He grinds every day.
What was his name again?
Jaleel.
Julio. Okay.
And we got some hard hitters. We got Caleb, who unfortunately right now kind of hurt his hand, but
Oh,
he's
no.
all right.
Yeah.
We got Jovan, we got Jacob back there as safety. We're gonna be stout defensively. Yes.
So the defense as a whole, that crew as a whole, are you glad those guys are wearing blue and red and you don't have to worry about seeing them?
Oh, yeah.
Do the other quarterbacks that are going to play you, the Raiders, the Buccaneers, the Bulls, the Wild, do they understand what they're coming up against?
No, shoot me a DM if you want to know. I'll send you a picture of Cody Brooks with his big old dreads and stuff, staring into your soul with his gunslinger visor.
Right into your soul.
No, those are big body guys. They definitely, our whole defense, a lot of these guys have a potential to be way past this level.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, and I could speak for everybody on our team with that. I quote me when I say this, at the end of the year, we are going to be an unstoppable force in this league. We're going to get past this league. We're going to go up in the ranks, AAL is good stuff, but we want to be in that AFL, that NAL, we want to go play the guys that are getting NFL guys down to their positions and stuff.
Would you rather have I'm going to ask a question that I think anybody knows the answer to. Would you rather have this kind of defense in practice every day, or would you rather have a little bit softer defense that lets you
Get away with
plan a little better, that lets you put things together?
You can't have that. If you want to get better, you got to go against the best.
Yep. That's why
Absolutely.
Coach always talks about us. Our offensive coach will get on our case because we'll roller coaster. Mm-hmm. He thinks like the defense will whoop on us one day, and then we'll come back and we'll show them what we got.
Right.
And personally, to me, that's a championship team. If our offense one day is getting beat, it's not that we had a bad day; it's that we got beat. We got a championship defense, and our defense, same thing. It's not that they sucked. We earned it. We're the best offense in the league. That's how it's going to be. And best offense, best defense ended up on the same team together. That's
great.
It's God's plan.
Right? Let's take one more break. When we come back, we will talk a little bit more about Gunslingers football. Maybe we'll talk about some other football stuff too. Big news today about JJ.
Oh, yeah.
Mr.
So
Watt.
we can talk some about that and the ongoing Deshaun Watson and now a Russell Wilson
Russell
issue
Wilson. Yep.
that we got
Go
to talk
Bears.
about. Is that your team?
Yeah.
Tacoma?
Of course.
Okay.
Seattle Hawks, man.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about your boy Russell Wilson maybe when we come back. Smokin Gunz Podcast. We'll be right back. Well, with the season right on top of us, we are excited about everything going on with the Gunslingers, and we want you to be part of our team. There's a way you can do that. You listen, and that's great.
Yep.
Love
You interact with us on Facebook, and that's awesome.
We love it.
If you're ready to take one more step toward becoming part of our team, reach out to us on Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/SmokinGunzPod. That's smoking no G, guns with a Z, Pod. If you're able, and help us make the show go. We have levels. We have a $5 level, a $10 level, a $20 level, and it just helps us pay the bills, keep the lights on, keep everything working like it's supposed to, and bring you all of the coverage. And as our way to say thank you, as news breaks, as things break, we will make sure you get the information
You
first.
hear it first. Yep.
That you get it right there in your email box or whatever way you have notifications set up. Patreon is a great app where as soon as those people that I follow on Patreon, that I support on Patreon, put something up, I get an email. And it says, hey, this guy, there's a music artist that I've loved for years and years, and I follow him I support him on Patreon. Every time he posts something, I get an email in my email box that says, hey, Derek Webb put something out there you may want to check out.
Cool.
You can get that from the Smokin Gunz Podcast just as our way to say thank you. And you can support the show. $5, $10, $20 a month. Anything helps. Just helps us make the show go. We're not getting rich on this. I'm not driving a brand new Maserati yet. I'll get there.
And you're driving from Lavernia.
I am. I'm driving from Lavernia. Anything you can do to help, come be part of our team.
It
Join
really
us at
helps a lot, yeah.
patreon.com. Smokin Gunz Podcast, Philip Higginbotham, Leo Yamas, R.C. Woods. We're sitting around the table with the San Antonio Gunslingers quarterback room. We've got Nate Mace and David Olvera. Olvera. Man, I'm going to get it.
Olvera.
I'm going to have to get it.
You'll get it.
So we've talked about we've talked about the team. We've talked about the coaches. We've just gone almost around the whole team. and talked about almost every position and what that does for you because you practice against them on a regular basis. Realistically, don't give me the answer that
The political one.
no. Well, you may be political, but you
Oh.
don't give me the answer that every player always says, which is like, we're never going to lose a game. Realistically, give me what you would be happy with as a record out of 9 games at the end of the season.
Rude. Rude.
Give me a realistic
What we're
idea.
gonna say.
7 out of 9
Okay.
wins.
Okay.
Yeah,
7 and 2?
That's fair.
That's a minimum.
So that's 7-2.
7 and 2.
7-2.
Okay.
I'm not happy with any loss. I really
And nobody
you
expects
know,
you to
Nobody
be,
is.
but
I
I'm
will
asking you to be
never-
realistic.
I'm happy. You know, I'm gonna take a quote from Tom Brady. As long as we make playoffs.
Okay.
You know, as long as
That's
we
a
make,
good one.
as long
Sure.
as all I need is make playoffs, and we'll get our ring.
Get
Right.
to the dance.
Yeah, you get in the
exactly.
tournament,
You know,
and then yeah.
Regular season is nothing but a pre-qualification for the big show.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way I see it. You know, I mean, but I will cry myself to sleep when we lose. If we lose,
Right.
Which I'm gonna be laughing myself to sleep about how bad we beat people.
Well,
Well, you guys know about Jason Torres' sweatshirt, right? That we're talking about.
he's called it at 9-0.
Yep.
He said 9-0. He's
Like
calling
he's saying, and
Good
he's
man.
saying
I-
9-0.
I call that too. I'm confident.
And I
in
realize
my
that's what everybody wants. I will tell you that I think, especially in this sport, football specifically, I think I learn more about teams after they lose than I do when they're ripping off a bunch of wins. I could have told you when the Pittsburgh Steelers were 11-2 that they weren't going to win a championship.
Oh yeah.
Right, 100%.
Like it was great to go 11-0, but then they lost one, and then they came out for
was
that second
over.
loss, and it was ugly. They didn't respond at all, and that told me everything I needed to know.
And who they lost to is like
Right.
See, I think we're gonna go 8-1, just because. Listen to me, because we played the Bulls 3 times, right?
Sure.
We're gonna whip their butt 2 of them. By the 3rd game, they'll be like, we can't lose all 3 games.
Really, really
So I
hard to
think-
beat any team 3 times in a season.
Yeah,
It's
so
really, really hard
So
to do.
I
Right.
feel if we're gonna get 1 loss, it's gonna be with the Bulls, and it's gonna be the last game because they don't want to end the season.
Maybe if we
Like
let
a
our
sweep.
kicker throw, but
You know.
hey,
I don't know, man.
I don't know,
Manny's
Manny.
right.
Talk about a kicker you'd be
Manny
scared
is
of on the
a beast.
field,
No,
man.
that's
Is
a
a
big
beast.
dude.
You normally want to throw the kicker out there when you're saying, "Oh, we'll take it easy," but Manny, it's not
No,
taking easy on
he's a
anybody with
beast.
anything. Yeah, that's a big dude.
And frankly, as you go into a regular season, I'm okay with a loss or 2. I don't like them. I never like loss. But if you're going to take a loss,
You gotta learn.
take
how
it
to
in
take
the season. Don't
Right.
get tight and take it in the playoffs. And,
True.
you know, if you're going to end up with a loss anyway, might as well take one in the season. Some of the best runs, not necessarily in this sport, but in college basketball specifically, I think some of the best runs happen when somebody gets knocked out
After a
early
loss.
in their
Yep.
conference tournament, and then they go into the NCAA tournament and they're like, we don't ever want to do that again. We
Right.
don't want to lose.
You
It's
get
like-
that taste of something. You get that taste.
Yeah,
of
I don't
that
want to feel
loss,
that way.
and
Yeah.
you're
Bad
like,
taste.
no, I don't
If
want
I
that.
had to choose, if I had to choose a loss, you know, if I had to lose 1 game or something, it'd be the first game of the season. Get
Wouldn't
that out
do
of
that.
the way.
Well,
No,
Can't
hey,
do that.
We're trying to
No.
get paid. We're trying to get paid.
But understand, the only reason I say this is because, you know, when you go, say we're 8-0, that last game is huge.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
we got the target on our back, as we already do. You know,
Right.
people know who San Antonio Gunslingers are, and we haven't even touched the field yet.
Right.
And personally, I'm very big on, I've mentioned it a couple times tonight, adversity, you know, how a team is going to bounce back from that. You know, I personally believe like our squad that we have would, you know, say if we ever lost the game, we're coming back that next week and putting up double what that team put up last week.
sure.
You know, that's just the type of guys we have that battle adversity at a very high level, like pros are supposed to do.
Right.
You know?
I understand that completely. Jason did put that out there, that 9-0. I challenged him because he's got that custom Gunslingers hoodie that he has. I said, put that right on the back, 9-0,
9-0,
and wear it every game this season. And he said, I love that idea. To have him not be able to wear that sweatshirt after game, that's probably not a good thing.
I think you need to have that, humbling experience in like the middle of the season, maybe. If you're going to take a loss in the middle of the season, that's better than the start of the season. You know?
Right.
I wish we had that preseason game because we'd take that one loss then.
See, and that's the way I see it. Like my junior year of high school, we were on a playoff bound team. Our first game, we got whooped by a team that was not even close to our level.
Right.
Whole rest of the season, beat every team by 24 plus.
Yeah.
You know, it almost like it had to feel a fire into the squad to be like, okay.
Right.
It had to bring you back.
Yeah.
So nobody likes to lose.
No.
But would you rather lose on a last-second fluke play, or would you rather get blown out? If you had to take a loss.
Just the lesser of two evils.
Yeah. I mean, you have to take a loss. Which one of those losses would you rather take?
Fluke.
Think so?
Then I have an excuse. You know, I could be like, oh, they earned it. You know, they were in there the whole game.
Sure.
They blow us out. I'd be like, well, we deserve that, you know.
Okay. I got you. Same way, David?
Yeah, I'd go with the fluke. You know,
Okay.
last second play, we probably had it the whole game, and
I mean,
stuff got sticky. Who knows?
Do you have a built-in excuse on a blowout of we were just off tonight? Like our whole team was off tonight. Like everything was off. It just wasn't our night. Do you have that excuse if you get blown out of somewhere?
That's a good point. That is a good point, though.
Like we were just off. We just didn't have it.
I guess you could say it's an excuse.
I mean, it's an either way. It's an excuse. And excuses stink. Like let's not.
Sucks.
But I always find that as an interesting question for players. Like, which would you rather have? Because
we hate that question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We
love
you guys, but we hate those questions.
I understand that. So you are from Tacoma. You're a big Seahawks fan?
Yes, I am.
All right. And
Sore subject right now.
yeah, we'll talk about all that in a minute. David, I know the answer to this question, but your football team of preference?
The New England Patriots. Still with Cam Newton. Let's see what he does next year. I don't
You think they'll still have him next year?
Okay.
That's heavily
That's a big
debatable.
if.
That's a big if.
I don't know that he'll be around next year. There's lots of quarterback options out there right now, and if we know anything about Belichick, he's going to find a quarterback option that he's excited about, and I don't think he's excited about Cam right now.
So Mel Kiper Jr.
It's hard to be excited about Cam with the season he had.
The last few seasons, like there's a reason that the Carolina Panthers let him go. Like Mel Kiper, what?
Mel Kiper Jr. All this stuff is nonsense. It's just to get up hype and everything, for the draft coming up. But in his latest mock, he has the Denver Broncos trading their 9th pick to the New England Patriots to move down, I think, to their 15th spot. So they're trading back because the Patriots are trading up to get one of the big 3 quarterbacks in the first round. He had like 3 or 4 quarterbacks going in the first 10 picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they said this is the first time in years that's happened.
Yeah,
like all the quarterbacks are getting
they're
gone.
They're going to go early.
They're going to go fast.
But as we've all seen, anybody that watches ESPN coverage, the quote that I love is the general manager who gets thrown. Mel Kiper says you shouldn't have taken that guy. I don't remember who it was or any of that stuff. He goes, who is Mel Kiper? The guy writes a book, and that means he's an expert. So yeah, who is Mel Kiper? But maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know if there is a way to game the system, Belichick's going to find it. And I don't think he's excited right now about Cam Newton and what that brings to his team. I think he saw some possibilities that could come out of that, and it just didn't pan out. And so I think he'll move on.
He'll probably move on. Hopefully we get a quarterback.
Tom Brady got his props now, though.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Brady got his props now.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
We don't like him. Yeah.
It's hard to argue against all the GOAT talk now with what he's accomplished.
I mean,
what I do if I was him? I'd be like, yeah, I know. It's
Right.
hard to talk. Hold up 8 fingers.
He does have the
7
rings.
fingers.
He has 3 of those rings because of Adam Vinatieri. You'll never convince me of anything. You don't believe me?
He wasn't there?
Huh?
He wasn't there?
He was there, but he sure didn't win those games. They were won on Adam Vinatieri's foot, the first 3 Super Bowls. He's got those rings thanks to Adam. That's it.
Hey, it doesn't matter how you get them.
It does matter how you get them.
matter how you get
Absolutely.
Quarterback, yes.
Whether it's low PSI in the ball or
Right.
you know.
So, Spygate, Deflategate, all of those things, I find interesting that the one thing that I never heard the Patriots get in serious trouble over, right about the time Spygate was getting finished, there were several reports that came out that they were practicing players who were on injured reserve, which is a big fat no-no.
No, I didn't know that.
If you're on injured reserve, you're on injured reserve. You do not practice. They were practicing players that they had put on injured reserve early in the season to get them more reps and time and to ease the load on their current players. Big, huge no-no. Several reports came out that same season. Never heard anything about it because we were all dealing with Spygate at the time.
They just had too much buzz going around for the IR players.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was... we all had Spygate fatigue by that time because near the end of that happened early in the season, and that's near the end of the season that report came out, and they were putting together the perfect season, which should not have been a perfect season. They should have had to forfeit that game against the Jets where they got caught breaking the rules. You get caught breaking the rules, you have to forfeit, right?
In the real world.
Yeah.
I mean, in the real world,
Yeah.
I mean,
so there never should have been any talk of perfect season. But it is what it is. So why the Patriots? You grew up here.
Tom Brady.
Just Brady?
100%.
Just Brady and Belichick, huh?
No, it was Brady.
Just Brady.
Brady.
What's so great about Tom Brady?
Look at his hand. You know,
I mean-
he's got 7 rings on him.
I get that. I understand that.
The way I've watched many videos about Tom Brady. The way he prepares for the game, the
Okay.
way he interacts with his players, the way he interacts with everybody around him. I mean, he takes the game like it's the utmost importance.
Sure.
Sometimes it's above his family. You know, he kind of sets them aside to really focus on his goals, which is winning Super Bowls. You know, he's able to make the hard decision. He's built relationships with so many players and helped them in so many different situations. He's an idol of mine. So.
He's
Okay.
very disciplined, I'll say that.
Oh yeah, when you got to be disciplined when you're a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a top-notch quarterback.
No, he is. I mean, we can't.
I just don't like him.
Yeah, I don't. I don't really care for him. I don't care for.
I don't want to like him, but I have no choice. You know, he's
gotta
the best.
respect
He's
him.
the
You gotta
best.
respect it. Yeah.
I can remember right after they won that first Super Bowl, 2001, there were a lot of people talking about how Tom Brady was going to be the next Joe Montana. And I was like, let's pump the brakes a little bit. He's won 1 Super Bowl. Let's talk when he's won 4. Well, he's blown past that at this point. So he deserves the credit. I just don't like him.
You don't like him because he's successful at what he's
I don't
doing.
like him because he cheats is a word that I don't want to use. So I'm going to say I don't like anybody who finds
ways to win.
ways around the rules to win.
Who bends the rules?
There's a reason rules are in place.
Right.
It is to keep the competition fair. And what's maddening about the Patriots and the times that they've gotten caught red-handed doing things that are just around not breaking the rules, but getting around the rules. The thing that bothers me the most about that is they didn't need to.
That's true.
Like they had a team and the ability to be successful, whether they did that or not. And so the fact that they did that, it's like Barry Bonds. I hate the fact that this guy, who was one of the greatest 5-tool baseball players ever, took performance-enhancing drugs and started that whole conversation because he'd be in the Hall of Fame. He is one of the greatest baseball players to ever play the game, and now he's not in the Hall of Fame. He will be eventually because he muddied those waters, and he didn't need to, and that bugs me.
I'll say this. I'll say this for you, David. When you're the best there is at what you do for such a long time, people will just find what reasons to hate.
Yeah,
Not
for sure.
not that I'm disagreeing with Philip on anything he's saying or discounting what he says, but when you dominate for such a long time, you're just the best at what you do for so long. You're gonna have
haters.
Lots of haters. I mean, it happened with the Spurs when they were so good for so long. People just found reasons to hate on the Spurs.
Boring basketball.
Yeah, they're boring.
Who cares if it's boring if they're winning championships and playing?
So tell me how many haters you have, and then you could probably congruently measure the amount of success you're having.
That's true.
That's true.
It's
I
gonna be
mean,
relative to the amount of hate that you're
one
getting.
of the most
So
hated
you're used to
franchises in
hearing
the
this.
NFL.
Yeah.
One of the most hated franchises in the NFL is the Dallas Cowboys. And a lot of that is because of the early success they had in the Super Bowl era.
I was like, not by the recent
Not recently, certainly.
No.
But being America's team, having those iconic players, being a team that was always up near the top for years and years and years, there's a reason there are two reasons. There's that reason, which is standard, and Cowboys fans are
crazy.
nightmares.
Yeah.
So,
Whole family's full of Cowboys fans.
And you're not going to get any argument from me. Like, the two fan bases that drive me nuts, Dallas Cowboys fans, Raiders, no. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, but Dallas Cowboys fans drive me nuts. And then Spurs fans. But I'm not a Spurs fan.
He's a Mavericks
I'm a Mavericks fan. But Spurs fans drive me crazy. I like the Spurs. I love the organization. I love Coach Pop. I love everything that the Spurs stand for. Spurs fans drive me insane. But that's another topic for another time and another show.
You're just a hater.
Is that what it is? I'm just a hater. So let's talk a little bit about some of these NFL stories that have popped out just recently. Today, the big news, today being Monday, this is going out on Wednesday, J.J. Watt going to Arizona. Leo.
Shocker.
What is going on here?
You got me. I mean, I would never have guessed the Arizona Cardinals was going to be where he would end up.
If you told me that he signed in Vegas, or you told me he signed in L.A. with the Rams, or Green Bay, or Tampa, I would go, okay, he wants a ring. Those are teams that are on the edge, and he might be the thing that can push them a little further.
Hold on, you said Vegas?
Yeah.
You included Vegas in
Yeah,
that group?
I think Vegas is
To get a ring?
I think
Raiders?
Vegas is close. I think Vegas is very close.
We're packing up. We're packing up the equipment. The show is over, people. There's no reason to talk to anybody on this show about sports anymore.
I certainly think that you could make
Vegas.
the case.
That's a
JJ is the
big-
key to Vegas.
That's a big
JJ.
jump.
It is. No. But Arizona is not in that position.
No.
No.
I mean, Arizona is not. We can argue about whether Vegas is or not, but we're not going to argue about whether Arizona is in that position.
Right. Yeah.
Now, if he's not going for hardware, which is kind of what I expected there to be a family connection. He's got two brothers that play in Pittsburgh.
Right.
He's got a wife that plays soccer, and she plays in Chicago.
Right. That's where I thought he was
So
gonna
I
go.
thought maybe the Bears.
I thought the Bears, hoping for the Bears.
I thought maybe the Steelers. In fact, I'm on record as saying I thought he would end up in Pittsburgh with his two brothers. That
Right.
just made too much sense.
Yeah, I thought it'd be the Steelers too.
So today, when I see him in his Arizona Cardinals t-shirt lifting weights, and he says "Source me," which
Yes.
which by the way is
I
an
love that.
incredibly awesome way
I love that.
to announce where you're going, is to source it yourself. I don't understand it. I just don't understand the move. I get that there's money involved, and maybe they were offering him the most money, but J.J. Watt doesn't have to make a decision based on money, does
No.
No.
I don't understand. Do you understand where this is coming from?
I can't think of any good reason other than we kind of joked about on our Facebook messaging where they said, why not Green Bay or Chicago? And it's freaking cold over there. And
Yeah,
you gotta
Jonathan
play
Young is like,
outside.
you should have gone to Green Bay. And I'm like, look, if it's Green Bay or Arizona in the fall and the winter, I'm going to play in Arizona.
He was here. He was in Houston during that winter storm. You
Yeah.
know, that we had
And
here in
that was
Texas.
it.
He probably said, "Nope. Okay, North is out."
So what about you guys? What do you think? Does this make any sense to you?
No. I think in 4 years, maybe it might have made sense to go to Arizona. That quarterback they got he's going to be great. But my money was on Pittsburgh. You know, if
Yeah,
it
I mean,
was
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's
But I watched
exactly
the
what I
interview.
thought.
I watched the interview of his, and he was talking about. He's like, I want to go to a team that wants to win a ring. You know, I want to go to a team that wants to get the trophy.
I just don't see Arizona being
I don't
there.
either.
So they must have a really good salesperson in Arizona that sold him on that
On the cactus.
they're contending this year.
Right.
You know, I mean, but in reality, I mean, they do have two of the best receivers to do it, you know, and a quarterback who is coming up. But I think you need more than that.
I guess I didn't think about the DeAndre Hopkins connection. I wonder if there's a connection there where that was part of what brought him that direction,
That's
as
the
he
only
enjoyed playing with Hopkins and thinks that guy is special, but still Arizona.
It's either that or he's running for a defensive MVP. You know, he wants that defensive player of the year, and he knows that he's going to get that spot there, and he'll do it.
It's scary for him because I think of Arizona as the place where where guys retire. It's where Emmitt Smith went. It's where Kurt Warner went. It's where, you know, there's a lot of guys that wound up there for a couple of seasons right at the end of their careers. It's just another one of those.
Let's be fair, though. Arizona right now is on an upward trend. They're getting better.
Sure.
And I said contender earlier. That probably wasn't fair of me to say, as in, you know, implying that Arizona is not a contender, because they are.
Right.
But they're just not in that upper echelon, and I don't
Well,
see them being there quite yet, even
and
with
whether-
J.J. Watt.
Right.
Whether you
I
think,
don't think JJ is going to be that key is going to take him up a level.
what
Right, yeah, I
what
agree.
you think about the Cardinals' chances is going to rely heavily on what you think of Kyler Murray. I am out on Kyler Murray. I always have been. I'm not a fan. I'm not.
I am. I'm short.
he's
I
a-
gotta be.
I understand that. I get that.
He
I
is
totally
electrifying,
understand
though.
that.
He is electrifying with whatever he does.
He is.
He's got speed you can't train.
But the thing about that is one of the first things that goes.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things that begins to degrade. I don't want to say goes. It's not like he's going to wake up one day and it's going to be gone.
Listen to this and be really upset because that dude still probably runs a 4.3.
Okay, well, hey, if Michael Vick is listening to this, I want him to call, and we want to have him on the show. The other thing is, Michael Vick is the one guy you can point to that worked out for a full career.
Yeah.
But you can't find
Well,
four more.
He was riddled with
What other
injuries.
fast quarterbacks do we got though? There's none.
I mean, there have been those guys. You can certainly point to guys like RG3.
Yeah.
riddled with injury.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So-
you're going to
absolutely.
find that those guys break down.
You got these
Pretty
guys.
fast.
I like to call them playmakers. Right. You know, they happen to be quarterback. They play the quarterback position, but they're playmakers, is what they are.
Right.
They're football players that make plays.
They're athletes.
The thing is keeping them healthy, and quarterbacks take a lot of hits. So you got to put that together with a really solid offensive line.
Yeah, there's a great
and a good game
designation.
plan.
And a good game.
Game plan.
Well,
Yeah.
RG3, he's in on the Saints now, right?
No, he is in the Ravens organization, isn't
He's
he?
with the Ravens.
He's with the Ravens last.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah, and then when Lamar came out for a little bit, RG3 was putting in some work. I watched him a little bit. He ran the ball too.
Yeah.
It was with Lamar and RG.
I mean, Lamar Jackson, he's
Lamar
the one.
Jackson.
He's doing it.
Sure.
I think
gave
he's
him the
the
99.
I think he's the exception when it comes to like more leaning of a running quarterback, like a dual threat type deal.
Right.
I think he's the exception because he kind of protects himself a little bit better. He runs out of bounds and
So let me ask you, Nate, because you were the Seahawk fan at the table. When the season starts, Russell Wilson will be in what jersey?
Good question.
Oh, that's a tough question. Why do you put him on the spot like that?
I know.
How much?
Everybody's got to have opinions.
How much? time
Everybody
do we
needs
got?
opinions. He's got an opinion, I'm sure.
You know, when Russell Wilson first became a Seahawk, if it was then, I'd say he'd be a Seahawk right now.
Sure.
But now he's earned that position as being one of the best quarterbacks to do it. You know, he's
Right.
gonna be give him 5 more years. That guy's gonna be talked about forever. You know,
Okay.
he's doing it. But you know, the coaching staff doesn't. When you got a guy like that, you have to let him have some say. That's like I'm not going to compare him to Tom Brady yet because he hasn't earned it, but
Right.
the guy has the knowledge to do it.
Okay.
You know, he has the knowledge to do it, and no coach is going to question Tom Brady. They're not going to be like, no, that play's not going to work, Tom. Run
Right.
this. They're going to be like, yes, Tom. Yes, Tom. And, you know, I think Russell Wilson has that factor in him. You know, he's too smart. He knows what to do, and my Seahawks offense is just they're all over the board when it comes to their stats. One day we'll run the ball for 200 yards. One day we'll throw the ball for 500. There's not a good solid mix. They're either trying to run the ball all day or they're trying to throw the ball to DK all day, and it's just not working.
Not
and
consistent.
Russell Wilson sees that, and he sees I'm biased because I'm a Hawks fan, but we have some amazing receivers on that on that team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know a man in the world who would want to go up against DK Metcalf right now.
Right.
The guy is going to be in his third year, right? Yeah, dude's going to be on the next Megatron, but better.
Right. So do you think they trade him?
You
think he winds up forcing a trade out of there?
I think if we get the right stuff, like I was mentioning earlier before the show, that like if we got Deshaun Watson and a couple draft picks from Houston for him, I would take that deal. As a businessman, I would take that deal.
But you're not going to get Deshaun and draft picks. You're going to have to give up Russell and draft picks to get Deshaun.
I disagree.
Oh
no,
for sure.
No, I think personally,
For sure.
I think
ceiling's higher on Deshaun.
By what, 3 years?
It's just higher. The ceiling is higher on Deshaun.
He's younger.
Yeah, he's younger. He's ceiling's higher on Deshaun.
But
Market value right now, you'd have to give up not only Russell but a couple of picks
to
pull Deshaun.
I think everybody would want. I mean, again, maybe I'm biased, but I think everyone would want Russell. I think people would be begging at the door for Russell.
There's been rumors about him in Denver. I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You'd be happy with
you
him
would
in
be happy.
Denver.
If you didn't have to depend on Drew Lock, I think you'd be happy with a lot of different quarterback options right now.
Hey man, Drew just needs some time. He's getting a bad rap, man. But there's some guys out there that
I'm praying he stays. If he's the Russell Wilson I know, okay.
Personally,
if he's the Russell Wilson that I idolized, a few years ago, he's gonna be here just based on how well we've treated him when it comes down to it. Do I think it's bogus that he's not getting more of a say on the offense and who we bring in? Yeah, he's sick of getting sacked.
Right. No, for sure. And there's certainly an amount of that where, and you guys know, you play the position when you can't set your feet and do your job.
Yep.
That's incredibly frustrating. And that's kind of where he's at right now. Like he can't seem to do that on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's either
so that gets frustrating.
It's either 3-step, let it go, or he has to do his Russell spin and do his thing all day, and that's how you get sacked a lot.
that was kind of like how the Super Bowl was with Patrick.
Right.
He was like running around because like.
So I guess it's becoming a weekly bit for us. Where are we at on Deshaun this week?
Denver is still the most likeliest landing spot according to Vegas, but
So I heard a rumor that like the Jets were a spot that he is really desiring, and I cannot wrap my mind around anybody wanting to go to the Jets.
I don't understand that at all. I mean, yeah, no.
I'll go to the Jets. I'd go.
Don't joke. They may take you right now. Like they may put you up there. Yeah, I mean, I couple of days after we talked about Denver being the clubhouse leader right now as far as Vegas is concerned.
But Houston has dug their heels in. They are
saying, not even taking phone calls.
We're not trading him. They keep saying.
Yeah, I read an article that his camp is very upset because they won't even talk to other teams. They seem like they're dug in and they're like, you're going to play here or you're not going to play in one of your more important years of your career. You're gonna drop a whole year if you don't come play for us.
Wow.
At some point, something's got to give.
I would think so, and I'm on record saying I think Deshaun Watson plays for the Houston Texans.
I still agree with you. I still agree.
I could be wrong. I've been wrong once or twice before.
You guys, as quarterbacks, are you happy sitting out a season because of a disagreement, whether it's philosophy or situation with the team?
No,
if the team digs in, are you guys happy sitting back and watching them play games without you?
No, not in the least bit. If I'm able to play, I'm able to play. So I wouldn't want to sit out if it was like a money issue or whatever.
Well, and that's what
so
kills
much
me.
money.
This is
See,
not a
it's
money
hard.
issue.
Yeah.
It's not about money.
This is you didn't consult me about hiring my boss's boss's boss. Well, I don't have to. It's like I don't have to do that, and he's upset about that. I think in the end, if it really comes down to you'll play in Houston or you won't play anywhere, I think he'll play in East.
Oh yeah. He wants the ball.
Right.
He wants to play. He doesn't have time to sit out. He's only getting older.
Right. Exactly. So let me ask you one more question, and then we've got a competition we run around with.
We
You
do.
guys are seem like you're always in competition with each other. We're just gonna keep that
gonna
going.
add to it.
Keep that.
Speaking of which, let me backtrack. There is something I wanted to ask you guys. Obviously, you think that you should be the starter. Like if you didn't, I wouldn't want you in the room at that point. Like if you thought no, if you thought no, David's actually better and he should start, I wouldn't want you in the quarterback room anymore.
Right.
So you guys think that, but tell me something. Let's start with you, David. Tell me something that you appreciate when you watch Nate's game.
Fire. Oh, it's his fire.
Okay.
You know? It's that the energy he brings.
Okay.
You know?
Excellent. Nate, same question. Not when you see Nate. Like, don't tell me something about Nate. Tell me something about Nate.
I'm like, God, you're getting flat, Nate. Man, David's been playing this position way longer than I have. So he has so much knowledge on the position, and just watching, like finally switching into this quarterback mentality, watching him go through it, his progressions has helped me a lot. So like his knowledge on it, that's really the biggest thing I see. And his knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, he's smart with it.
So along those lines, something I wanted to ask you guys, because we kind of had a little bit. We talked a while back about you guys a little bit. We didn't know a whole lot about you at the time, Nate, so we didn't really have too much of opinion. But we had seen David and his progression from the beginning of when the very first tryouts and up until training camp, and we kind of made some comparisons, and I think you likened David's game, and he's looking at you right now.
I agree.
David's looking at you right now with that look.
My man
Dude has a Super Bowl ring.
You did me dirty, Philip.
Okay, if you're not sure what we're talking about right now, I mentioned when Jason and Jonathan were in, we were talking quarterbacks, and I compared our two quarterback options to the difference between Brett Favre or having Brad Johnson.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an apt comparison because both carry one Super Bowl
Nobody
ring.
knows who Brad Johnson is.
I was like, are you serious, Brad Johnson?
He has a
anybody
Super
else
Bowl
you
ring.
made-
He
you
has as
made-
many Super Bowl rings as Brett Favre does.
You made me feel bad coming up to my boy and be like, "Did you hear him talking about us?" And I'm like,
Did you
"Yeah,
want me to
I
go
was-
with
I
Trent
was Brett
Dilfer?
Favre."
Like, I didn't want to do Trent Dilfer to you.
Do not deal for me either.
And then
There's better quarterbacks without a ring. Okay.
That's a fact.
and then Philip doesn't go to practice that week, so
No.
I'm there, of course. And David comes over after some reps. They have a water break. David comes over to the sideline. I'm sitting there, and he looks at me. He's like, "Are you serious, dude?"
I'm sorry if I offended
He's
you
like-
by
I was like,
comparing
hey,
you to a
that
Super
was
Bowl
not
winning
me.
quarterback. I apologize. If
He's
that
like,
was,
"You got to do better."
if that
than
was
that.
upsetting for you.
I was like, Brad, come on, Brad Johnson.
Johnson. He's like, "Come on, do better, man."
So
I want to know.
He
what
is
they
the most
think.
vanilla, like
Yeah.
consistent quarterback I could think of at a moment's notice.
Oh
and
my god, that's funny.
it was the consistency versus the playmaking, but
Right.
not consistent.
Not
and
everybody got that.
that's where we were going with that.
Right.
So compare your game. If you could pick somebody that you model your game
Oh, he's gonna
after.
say Tom Brady.
Well, we know that. Well,
He's gonna say Tom
let's
Brady.
give
The
him a
way I-
chance
And
to
someone's
say
going to
it.
say Russell. So hello.
Well, my playing style doesn't really like go with Brady. You know, I would say I'm a little bit more athletic when moving than Brady. I mean, not by much, but
You can brag on yourself.
Look,
No,
Tom
no, I'm
Brady
trying to-
does not move. Okay,
he don't move a lick.
He does not move.
He ran that 40 in tennis shoes. Okay, you're better than that.
Shoot.
How about this? Let me throw a suggestion out there. The
Brad
name-
Johnson.
No,
No.
no. The name just escaped me right now, though. I got that little mental block. But the guy in Minnesota,
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk? I like Kirk.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I've actually.
I could see
I think
that.
that.
What do you
I
think?
think that a lot. I think that a
That's.
lot.
I was thinking about it, and that's the guy that came to my mind.
Okay,
Cousins.
That's
okay.
good.
So let's just be clear here.
Kirk.
Cousins is a better comparison in your mind. You like that better than a Super Bowl winning Brad Johnson.
That because I can't even tell you what Brad Johnson's face looks like.
Nobody can. That's not the point. That's not the point at all.
You gotta forget we're young, okay?
He won a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. Gosh. Okay. Nate, same question. Who would you compare your game? Who do you model your game after?
You made my day when you told me I was like Brett Favre, because as a kid, when I was a kid, I didn't.
That's not always a good thing, Nate. You know that, right?
I know, but nobody,
I've seen.
Hey, that's a Hall of Fame quarterback, so it's always a good thing.
I have never seen a man make more questionable decisions on a football field than Brett Favre in my life.
Oh yeah,
and some of those worked out.
But a lot of
they did. Some of them worked out.
Of them worked out.
But I've also seen 5 interception games. Like the next guy in line is like Tony Romo would do some of that kind of stuff too. And I love Tony.
Don't they both have Super Bowls?
Yeah,
Tony does not.
Oh yeah. But,
A gunslinger. That's right.
Brett Favre is a gunslinger.
The definition of a gunslinger.
When I heard Brett Favre broke a dude's fingers throwing him the ball, or it was his rib cage. It was his rib cage he broke. Ever since then, I was like, because my dad always told me, he said, "Son, you got an arm. You know, you could do it if you wanted to." I was a chunky kid. I played line. I played line and defense, and I was okay with that until college. but ever since I heard that, and my dad had a Brett Favre Falcons jersey. Okay. You know, so he's always loved Brett Favre, so I kind of take after. Yeah, I always kind of took after that. And my dad always told me I had a cannon because I played baseball and stuff, and I was 12 years old throwing like 79 miles an hour, which is pretty good for 12U in Washington. Maybe not Texas. Everything's bigger and faster here. But ever since I heard that story about him breaking someone's ribcage, I was like, that dude's a baller. Yeah. He's that good. He hit someone right where it needed to be so hard that they couldn't catch it with their hands. They had to break their rib cage and for them to consume the ball.
You want to hear the craziest thing? I've read a book by Jeff Pearlman, who's one of my favorite authors, about Brett Favre. One of the craziest things about Brett Favre is in high school, he played on a team that ran a slot T kind of offense,
like
which is all wing T running. Yeah. You did too?
Yeah.
You don't throw the ball in that. Like you get single digit pass attempts in that. Yeah. His coach would not let him throw the ball. It's Brett Favre. Same we all know Brett Favre's arm. Would not let him throw the ball. The coach's name? Irv Favre. Yeah. Was his dad. The reason that Brett Favre wound up at Southern Miss University is because no other Division I team would take a chance on him. He had the skills, but they had no film on him of him throwing the ball. So he wound up at Southern Miss. Now he's a Hall of Famer. But not always a good thing to be compared to Brett Favre because he takes some ridiculous.
And personally, I don't think I'm necessarily like Brett Favre. If you had to ask, like RC said, I'm biased. I'm definitely going to tell you I'd have to I've looked up to Russell Wilson since he started.
Sure.
And being a shorter quarterback and also being a Seahawk fan, I had to be happy with something like that. I can't go like Tom Brady or some of these 6 foot plus quarterbacks because I can't mirror that game.
I'll tell you, as shorter guys, I think both of you should take a good hard look at who do I want to model my game after. Who would I like to be like? Drew Brees.
Yeah,
he's a 5'11" guy that if you could have that kind of career, that's the guy to be, man.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's
the guy to be.
Him. Recently, I mean, I don't watch. Kyler Murray's so fast. I don't watch him.
Right.
I won't ever be that fast. Yeah. I won't lie to you.
He's a different level talent.
Yeah, and he's scary fast. He's got ridiculous speed, and I think his ball's off a little bit. I think his ball's off. He doesn't really.
Yeah, for sure.
He's more of a
he relies on his athleticism.
He's a quarterback that can run, not a quarterback that can throw. Yeah. And I think a quarterback you have to be able to throw.
So you're a big Seahawks fan. Who would you say your biggest rival, the Seahawks' biggest rival is? Who's the team you absolutely hate?
LA Rams.
Okay.
They disgust me.
This is one of my favorite questions. They disgust you.
Yeah, I hate them.
Absolutely hate them.
Yeah, because they suck and they beat us at least once a year.
I love asking this question when someone's that passionate about the team they hate. If the Rams called you tomorrow, you'd sign a contract.
Yeah, I'd call Hector tomorrow and be like, hey, I love you, but I gotta go.
And as a Patriots fan, what would it be? Dolphins, Jets?
I love playing the Dolphins, except when they do some Miami Miracle BS.
We all remember that.
Yeah, that was bad. I was driving, almost wrecked because I was watching it live. I was like, oh my God.
You were watching a game while you were driving. You didn't just say that on the air.
It wasn't.
But
I
have a question. question.
Would there be a team that you wouldn't play for?
I'll play for the San Diego Chocolates. I don't care. If they're a professional NFL team,
Sure.
So my question was, where do you see yourself in 2 years?
Where do I see myself in 2 years?
Yeah.
Playing football, guaranteed.
Okay, where? Like if
But where-
yeah,
yeah. You don't get off that easy.
yeah, not that easy.
Okay,
If it could be up to you, like your dream team, where would you be?
let's keep developing the Gunslingers. I'm right here.
Okay.
Okay.
I love
Keep
it.
developing.
Nate, where are you going to be in 2 years?
In 2 years, I mean, if I had it my way, I'd be on I want to be on a practice squad by 2 years from now in the NFL. Next year, my goal is I want to be in that CFL level.
Okay.
I want to get up there, and of course, it all depends on what my film looks like.
Right.
If not, I'm going to stay here and we're going to have fun, depending on how everything goes. But in 2 years, if I had it my way, I'd be on the practice squad for the Seattle Seahawks, learning from under Russell Wilson, But that's my goal. 2 years from now, that's where I said, like, by 24, if I'm not on a practice squad, it's time to settle down and save my body a little bit.
Gotcha.
That's middle age for the NFL.
Well, like we say, you guys are in competition with one another all the time, and we don't want that to be any different on the Smokin Gunz
That's
podcast.
right.
So, RC has put together a little trivia
Yes.
competition for you.
How are you gonna figure out who gets to go first? They
That's
buzz
you.
First?
This is all you.
You guys watch this.
This is your thing.
All right.
I'm not
okay.
gonna do good at
so
this one.
there's like 10 questions, and if there's a tie,
You can do this.
Someone keep score though, because I'm not gonna be able to
Yes,
do
you
that.
did.
We're football players. We don't know what we're talking about.
Sure you do.
You'll know these.
You'll know these.
I've
Okay.
read the questions. I've screened them. You'll know.
Yeah.
If I know them, you'll know.
Okay. Number one. Name one team that Joe Namath was quarterback for.
The Jets.
Okay?
Okay, you got one.
Can
point.
y'all name the other one?
Did he play for?
It was the very
It
end
was
of his
only
career.
one-
Nobody
it was only
remembers
one year,
this.
Only 1 year he played.
Did he play for the Falcons?
No. Begins with an R.
The Ravens?
Rams.
Rams.
Played for the Rams for 1 year, right at the end of
I
his
can see
career.
Not
Namath
me.
in a Rams jersey.
There were no Ravens back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
So
a
you
long
got
time
1
ago.
point, David. Okay.
Okay,
keep
so
track.
David's leading.
David's leading.
Point
Okay.
David.
Number 2. Dan Marino played for what team?
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a little quicker. He's a little quicker. Okay, number 3. Warren Moon played for what Texas team?
The Oilers.
Ooh. Okay, what's the score?
3-0.
3-0.
3-0.
Okay, so now we're...
Nate knows. He's like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
3-0.
Yeah.
I know him.
Okay, we're on 4, okay? Drew Brees was drafted to what team?
The San Diego Chargers.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, now, Nate, you might know this one, okay? At what degree does water freeze?
32.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
I thought you being in the colder weather, you
Hey,
would
no,
know.
our pipes don't bust like that. No, we're good. We get 10 degrees and I still got hot water.
All right.
Yeah, you had
Not
pipes
here.
bust on you, right?
Yeah, it was not fun.
Okay,
Both
so-
of us did.
Yeah, that's sad. So this is a multiple choice question. So I'm going to name 3 choices and then you have to pick, okay? Who has the most accumulated passing yards? Marino, Elway, or Manning?
Elway. No, Manning.
Okay, who said it first? Because the answer is Manning.
I think Nate got that one.
Nate
Okay,
said
Nate.
it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? 4-1 Nate or
Yeah.
4-1 David?
You're coming back. Don't call it come back.
back.
Don't call it come back.
Yeah, comeback kid strikes again.
All right, number 7. This is tricky. In what month do we celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
March.
Boom.
Whoa, it was March.
My little brother's birthday, so.
There you go.
Okay, so now these are kind of like
4-2.
the 8, 9, 10, the last 3 are going to be sort of like, what's the nickname? Okay, you'll figure it out. What player has the nickname Johnny Football?
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah,
Okay, who's that?
Yeah, David got that one. But
Okay.
who talks about Johnny Manziel now?
Everybody does.
Nobody.
Hey,
Nobody.
The Fan Control Football League. Johnny
I've watched a
Manziel.
little of
Yeah,
it.
whether we win or lose, we booze. Come on now, you're not
Okay,
a pro after losing a game.
Yeah, that was
in the FCF. Come on, Johnny.
All right, two more. Number 9. What player has the nickname Big Ben?
Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, that was a tie.
That was a tie.
That was a tie.
Yeah.
That was like a straight up tie. We'll have to give a half point.
Okay, number 10, last one. What player has the nickname the Gunslinger?
Brett Favre.
The Gunslinger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Brett
Favre?
Brett Favre. Yep.
Okay. Well, good. So what's the score right now?
I lost. It's all right.
It's like 4.5 to 3.5. Like it's close.
Well, I have a bonus. I have 2 bonus questions, okay? So the bonus question is, what color are Coach Tony's eyes?
Blue.
Very
Boom.
good. Boom.
I try not to look straight into it.
Hey, I don't blame you, David.
So
Never look him in the eye.
So if we're still keeping score, that means that
it's a tie.
We're tied up.
Oh,
this final
okay,
question
so
is
this
for
is-
it.
Come back.
Okay, here we go.
Anybody else sweating?
Okay, I'm scared for y'all. Okay, I didn't really think we were gonna get to the bonus questions.
I know
Here we
you're
go.
gonna make me tell you what my coach's eyes look like on live.
And quickly
I know, I
and
was
and
fast.
confidently,
I was
you
too
knew.
fast.
Light hazel.
Tony's gonna walk up to me like, "Don't do that again, dude."
You're going to get some slack for that. It's
Oh, yeah.
practice.
Okay,
Or
here
I
we
might
go.
not have to run. You never know. We'll see how Tony's feeling. No.
Okay, last question, bonus. How do you spell championship?
CHAMPIONSHIP.
Who spelled it right?
I think it was Nate. I have to
I
go
got
back to the tape, but I think Nate got it.
Third grade spelling bee
I can't-
champion.
I can't spell word to lick. So.
I can't either. My daughters in school will say, like, they'll be working on something on the computer and they're like, how do I spell? Just use that. I know how to
Yeah.
spell that.
Man, you
How do I
guys-
spell championship? And I'm like, you get close and you right click on the little red line under it. That's how you spell it.
You know, with her generation, that's probably how it is.
I have been known to change whole sentences when I couldn't get close enough on a word to
Oh my
get
God,
spell
yeah, me
check to
too,
pick
me
it
too.
up.
Me
I've
and
changed
you
the
both,
whole
me and you
sentence, man.
I was hoping that one of y'all were going to start spelling gunslingers.
I was going to say, instant winner. Instant winner. Doesn't matter what the score
Instant
was if you
winner.
spelled gunslingers.
Right.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been a great time.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
fun.
It was fun.
This has been solid. I wish we had another 2-hour show, but we're running right up against that kind of time right now,
It doesn't
and it
seem
has
like
flown.
Yeah.
So we know, or we heard that announcements were going to be made soon. Do you guys know anything that the fans would want to know as far as roster in the quarterback room? Have y'all been made privy to anything?
Last night, David Olvera, my boy, was made the starter for this week 1 game.
So
So congrats to my boy.
Oh.
that's awesome, David.
Here.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah,
David's
sure.
going to start.
And you know,
Yeah.
whatever decision these coaches make, man, either way, we got 2 killers in this locker room.
Right.
You know?
For sure.
No matter
Absolutely.
what, you know, and we're going to keep bringing that out of each other. We're going to keep working. And, you know, whether, you know, he plays half, I play half, we're going to win a championship this year. That's all that matters.
It's not going to be any easier no matter what number is behind QB in your name, because QB1, it's all on you. Right, David?
Uh-huh.
But then at QB2, you have to find a way to keep that motivation to be ready to step in on a moment's notice with
Oh, yeah.
possibly less reps, with, you know, all of that kind of stuff. You still have to be in that headspace where I'm ready.
Yeah, if not
As
even
soon as it
harder,
comes.
you know, you gotta
He's
drive
motivated.
Even, yeah,
He's
you gotta,
motivated.
You got to drive even harder now. You know, it's definitely no professional athlete, no athlete period wants to hear, "Hey, you're not starting this week."
Sure.
you know,
Absolutely.
Of course.
But that's the reason we got bonds. You know,
Right.
that's the reason we bond. I if I didn't trust David to go in, I'd be freaking out right now.
Right.
You know, but I know, like, watching him play, watching how we do this, you know, no matter what, we're gonna win that game. You
Yeah.
know, I got trust in the coach's decision. I think they made the right decision for themselves. You know, if that's how they feel, that's the way it's gonna be, and that's how it needs to be.
Right.
You know, and I think that with the talent pool we have on this team, I think you could honestly. We could throw a lineman back there and win. You know, we got a lot of. I'm serious.
You hear him, William?
Hey,
William's going to be
take
throwing
it
the ball.
yeah, no.
It's Bob Haas, you know that, right?
Big Red's gonna hear me. But I get to run the ball this week, right? Nate said it on the podcast.
I think we had a couple of offensive sets where they put Caleb Roller back there at fullback.
I think they had Devin.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
it's Devin. Okay,
Why,
okay.
everyone else in this league, if you're listening to this, watch out for Devin, man. That boy will. He may be big, but he's fast. He showed that at practice. He took off.
That's gonna be fun.
Well, we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a really good time at the Palace here in
Pack the Palace.
Hashtag Pack the Palace here in just a couple of weeks. We're excited to watch you take the field, David, with the team.
Thank you.
We're excited to see the moments that you get to step in, Nate, because they're coming.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Whatever those moments look like or whatever the need is, being that guy that can step in on a moment's notice is just as difficult.
Absolutely.
So we're excited to see both of you guys and the rest of the team take the field there at the Rose Palace. Beat the Bulls. We got to come up with a thing. We had all of these things back when we did the Commander stuff, and we've not done anything with the Beat the Bulls. I don't know.
said
We'll
BS, but no one liked that really.
Oh yeah, you were big on the BS.
Big on the BS.
Yes. Bull slaughter.
Bull slaughter. So we're going to wrap things up right there. All that remains to be said is that Smokin Gunz Podcast is brought to you by
Texas Sports LMT, licensed massage therapist. Specialized in sports massage, sports stretch, Swedish, and deep tissue massage. Texas Sports LMT has been in business 8 years and was nominated Best of San Antonio 3 years in a row. She worked alongside the San Antonio Gunslingers and the San Antonio
Commanders. Yeah.
And the Commanders, making sure they were game day ready at all times. She has also worked and provided sports stretch to numerous players from the NFL and the NFL Combine. Sports stretch is structured to be performed on athletes of any size or stature. It is safe for just about anyone who is looking to gain flexibility in order to perform better on the field, in the gym, and everyday activities. Give Laura, the Texas Sports LMT, a call to set up an appointment today. And when I say today, I mean today. We've had a lot of stress here in San Antonio, so the best thing we need is a massage.
Absolutely.
So give her a call at 210-459-0176. Again, that's 210-459-0176. It's not how you train, it's how you recover.
We want to toss out a thank you to our amazing. Wow.
Add the
amazing.
G. You're just so used to forgetting the G. It's the G.
It is.
Add the
I
G.
dropped the G.
Got your drawl.
The amazing patrons that we have, Iris and Mo Ferrante,
Love them.
Herman Robles Jr., who we're
Awesome
gonna
dude.
We're gonna get that voice on the show at some
Yeah,
point.
we're gonna have him soon through SpeakPipe.
We thought maybe he was gonna be the
yeah.
first SpeakPipe user ever. We haven't had one yet. We need
No.
somebody to jump in on SpeakPipe.
We
And
challenge
he's
you.
working on it. He contacted us.
Alba Nava, who is now part of the ownership
Yes,
Congratulations.
he is.
of the San Antonio Gunslingers. And then, of course, the COO, the man that makes everything go, the man that's pulling his hair out right now as we get closer and
Oh,
closer.
for sure. He's stressing.
Jason Torres, we saw him on Saturday.
He
and,
needs a massage.
He's busy.
He's
needs
busy.
a massage.
He's got a lot going on. We're thankful for all of those folks, and we would love to have you be part of the team as well. If you join us on Patreon and become a patron of the show, we would be ever so thankful. And we would love to talk about you right here in this slot next
Absolutely.
week. So that's going to wrap things up for another episode. Special thanks to David and Nate for coming in and spending some time with us. A lot of time.
Great guys. Had a lot of fun. Yeah.
I'm excited about the quarterback situation we have going on in San Antonio.
Yeah, I think we got
Proud
a
of
great
both
couple
them.
of guys.
Proud
Yes.
of both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to professional football in San Antonio, we have the food,
Yes, we do.
Yep.
we have the fans,
Awesome.
we have the palace, hashtag pack the palace.
Pack
Yep.
the palace.
We have the tailgating,
Yes, we do.
Yep.
we have the football, and we have a message for all the Bulls up in North Texas,
That's right.
for all the Wild fans in Austin. Hey, by the way, you want to tell your thing? You want to give everybody your warning?
My warning
Yeah.
about.
Don't Google Austin
Oh
Wild.
gosh.
Oh.
Yeah. Do not Google.
Do not Google Austin Wild from a work computer.
Yeah, no, that happened at my work. My COO. Yes, if you're gonna Google it, Google Austin Wild
Football. Yeah.
Don't forget the football.
Yes.
So we got a message for the Buccaneers out there on the oceans of El Paso.
Vast ocean waters over there.
We've got a message for the Raiders roaming the plains of Mississippi.
Okay.
Football is San Antonio, and San Antonio is football. And when it comes to game time, the 210 has got something to say.
Bang, bang.